Welcome to the show, everybody. Mike Storey will be joining me shortly, coming back from his unpaid leave. I don't pay him for his leave. I actually don't pay him for coming on the show, which is the best part for me. Love free labor, baby. He was doing some charity work for the last 10 days. What a good guy he is. Let's give him a round of applause. I don't think I've done a lot of charity work in my life besides like picking up dog shit in my yard. Anyway, speaking of dog shit, Tua Tagovailoa, I can't even say his name. How about let's call him Tua, because let's forget his last name. Their GM said Dolphins need to find our guy at quarterback, which is pretty damning considering Tua makes like $50 million. And I don't know if it's going to be a quarterback competition, who they're going to bring in, but this is rough. Tua's done. He's awful. He's awful. He's the entire Dolphins organization's a mess. So they hire a defensive coach. I don't know what their plan is. They don't really have the draft capital to draft a quarterback. There's not a quarterback to take. They could take Simpson out of Alabama for some type of long-term project, but Tua is not the answer short-term. Definitely not the answer long-term. I think they need to trade him, but who's going to give him anything? Tua's terrible. He's terrible. Couple other news notes here. Nick Chubb not going to return to the Texans. He's a goner. He will probably be nothing more than a depth piece the rest of his career. In terms of playoff news for betting stuff, we're looking at Matt Collins possibly returning. I hope he doesn't. I have a Stephon Diggs play. We have Travion Henderson full practice. That doesn't matter because he's terrible. And Pat Bryant. Somehow Pat Bryant is going to play. Pat Bryant's going to be playing football this week. 2 concussions in the last 4 weeks. And the first one was week 16. That took him to the hospital. So, I love Pat Bryant. We talked about him in the show last night. Definitely looking at him next year, but really big for me in Storey's fantasy team. We're going to get into that in a little bit. J.K. Dobbins might make a return. So I would say this. If J.K. Dobbins does return this week, bet the under on all of his props. Bet the under. It's going to be low, probably like a 22-yard prop. I would bet the under. I don't see him playing very much. They're probably rushing him back due to the fact that they need this game. They don't have Bo Nix. So I think they have to rush him back. Troy Franklin might not play. One other news note here to get into is Jesse Minter is hired. The Ravens hired Jesse Minter. He was a defensive coordinator on the Chargers, 42 years old. So I like the fact he's an upstart coach. Not a big fan of the hiring. It's a downgrade. I don't care how any way you spin it, it's a downgrade. I guess he's worked under Harbaugh. He worked under, the other Harbaugh. I don't know what the thoughts are on that one, but these coaches, man, so many openings, not enough good coaches. It's rough. Thank you, TB. TB is back in the Discord if you guys missed him. Blake says, I'd much rather see Malik end up in Pittsburgh or Atlanta. I think Pittsburgh is the ideal home. Now, Atlanta's a really good spot for him. That'd be a dynamic offense, him and Bijan. My thing is I love Drake London, and I do believe in Malik Willis. I just don't believe in him supporting a number one receiver in fantasy. So I think Pittsburgh is the spot for him. I think he pairs well with DK, and they don't have a lot of weapons there in Pittsburgh. So, who better than Malik Willis when you don't have weapons? You said it was Justin Fields in the past. Mike Storey in the building. What's going on, Mr. Charity? I was just touting up your charity work. The guy's he's a great person.
Yeah, we do a lot of good stuff. We got events coming up later this month, and then fundraising kicking off. We are closing the pantry on Friday, though, for obvious reasons, seeing as it's going to be super cold where we are.
It's already getting at that point. I was telling the peeps that the most charitable thing I do is pick up dog shit in my yard, and that's not really a charity because it's helping me out, but it's super gay.
Your hands are what makes it possible. Your shoulder pads are hard and stiff. Your hands are tender and they can move and caress the ball. that's kind of gay, but hey.
Whoa.
You ever seen that, dude? I just found that. It's my new favorite clip. It's an NIU game from 97.
Can't get away with that anymore.
Oh, I long for the 90s. You just be able to say whatever you want on TV and not get fired, I don't know why I long for it, but even though that's what this show is all about, we're bringing back the 90s story. That's what we're doing. We're bringing it back. Anyways, how you doing, man? Football season's almost coming to an end. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, we've got 180 minutes or so left of football this year. It's kind of depressing, but it's also kind of refreshing in a little bit. As this has been probably the most intense season that I can remember in a long time.
Start to finish, man, because let's go back to week 1, and a game that's really important to me was when I won that giant $10 parlay to win $1,800, that Bills-Ravens game. That was to start the year. That was Sunday Night Football to start the year. Like, so that's when it really kicked off, and it really hasn't disappointed from that point. There's been so much parity, so many crazy games. I mean, just the Bears alone was a season's worth of crazy games from our team. And just look at, Mahomes missing the playoffs, which is awesome. The whole Eagles debacle, right? All the AJ Brown drama, like, it's been a great year. And both fiscally for me and entertainment. Yeah, fantasy. We had a great year. Our takes were awesome. I'm looking forward to starting fresh, though, with the NFL draft here in a couple months. NFL is a 12-month thing because I was trying to schedule out the show going forward. We're still going to do 2 or 3 football shows as long as some other random shows throughout the weeks, in the off season, quote unquote off season. But we have combine, we have free agency, we have NFL draft, and then me personally, I start doing best balls in May. So I'm May to January, literally full on football.
I mean, combine is next month, so you don't have a whole lot of time to rest.
No, I don't. Goddamn, I can't. I love early best ball drafts, dude, because there's so much values, and also not even so much of drafting your own players as values, but people doing dumb things like drafting Bayshell Tootin in the 8th round. That was happening, things like that, where people just they see the rookie and they just they draft him 3 rounds higher, and then what you do is you don't draft Bayshell Tootin in the 8th round. You wait until when draft season comes around, and then you get him in the 15th round, and then you play these big tournaments, and the teams that drafted him that early, it's like there's no value there. Even if he pops, you have guys getting, 6 rounds of value later on. So just rule of thumb for you best ball drafters, do not draft rookies the first month of best ball because they're going to be way, way too high. It's gross.
Yeah. I mean, rookies, where would you put rookie running backs versus rookie wide receivers?
They both just go too high, man. And it's just the shiny new toy. It's people like the counselor just screaming at the top of their lungs. These, Trey Harris, Dante Thornton, these guys that, it doesn't matter. I actually like Trey Harris. I like a lot. The point is his path was not clear. Now, Dante Thornton had a better path to playing time, but it didn't matter because he's terrible. You said it the whole time. He had how many receptions as senior? 28 receptions?
Yeah. And 60 some receptions over his entire college career. That doesn't lend itself. Now if they can get a quarterback there, I'm kind of intrigued with Jack Besh a little bit, right? This is those post-hype rookie kind of I don't want to call them failures, but those guys that the community whiffed on. Everybody was high on Jack Besh for a long time. And now we got an opportunity because these guys are going to go undrafted next year. Guys like Trey Harris, guys like Jack Besh. I'm excited for Trey Harris as well.
Yeah, I was we had a pretty long Lad McConkey discussion, me and Ray, and I like Trey Harris, because I still think Quentin Johnson is a functional NFL receiver. He has his role, but I just think that Trey Harris is the more versatile player, right? Where he's almost more versatile than Lad, because I have a big feeling that Lad's not going to be playing the snap share we've seen because his blocking is just piss poor. He's a boy amongst men out there, and he just hasn't impressed. So Trey Harris is kind of a do it all kind of dude.
It was good to see him. I don't want to say come on because he was not usable in fantasy, but it was good to see him get some additional playing time towards the end of the year. The hope is they get a good offensive coordinator in there, somebody that can run that system that Harbaugh wants to run, right? It's less of a power running scheme and more of a zone concept. Somebody that can, I hate to say it, but Mike McDaniel.
They got McDaniel. They have him. They hired him. Yeah.
When?
Yeah, he's there. Yesterday, 2 days ago.
Out of the loop. That's what happens when you.
Okay, that's why I'm here. That's when you do the charity work. Yeah, so that's exactly. See, you called it and it happens. It's almost like it was because you hired his ass. Anyways, I want to get your take on these games for this Sunday, specifically the situation there with Bo Nix. No Bo Nix. We're gonna have. I like Stidham. I think Stidham's a pretty elite backup, and I think that he's handpicked by Sean Payton. Sean Payton's prepared for this. I know you hate Sean Payton, but would you agree that of all the coaches in the league, he is in the top 3 you would want with a backup quarterback that can game plan and have 90% of the production? We've seen this before with Foles. We've seen it before with.
We have seen it, but that was a different situation altogether. I think Jarrett Stidham was fine at Auburn. He was never any kind of standout. I don't know I can't remember where he got drafted. Was this a 3rd round pick, if I remember correctly, somewhere in that range?
It was the Patriots drafted him, right? I know he was in the Raiders, Patriots, Raiders. But he's been on that team for a couple years now. Sean Payton loves him. He's very familiar with the offense. He's got a big ass arm. So I like 133rd overall from Blake, media manager. Shout out Blake.
Yeah. 4th round pick.
Jamie. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Patriots, a stint in Las Vegas. So obviously he's already a journeyman in his short 6-year career in the NFL. I don't have any faith that they're going to be able to do much of anything. And it also drags down all the Patriots from a fantasy scoring perspective, because what are they actually going to need to do to win this game? Like, I don't think that Denver can win. I think they can keep it relatively close, but push comes to shove, I just don't see them generating enough offense to actually win this game.
I'm not worried. I mean, the Patriots have looked pretty bad, especially in the first half of these games where they, even the Chargers game, they were losing or it was tied, right? And it was a really close game. And Denver has the best defense they've played, man. I mean, I guess Houston's the best, but Houston's defense didn't matter because that offense was so bad on Houston. It didn't matter what Houston's defense did. Like they just had to pretty much take care of the ball. And Denver's defense has not played up to their standard this year. Would you agree?
Well, yeah. And so Denver's defense is incredible, but the offense was nothing spectacular. Bo Nix is better than an average quarterback, but he didn't elevate that team very much. The surrounding cast around him, Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, Evan Ingram, R.J. Harvey's a good talent, but none of those guys, none of the pass catchers are really outstanding. And so to think that Jarrett Stidham, a guy who hasn't taken a meaningful snap in over a year, and by that, I mean a snap in a game where he actually had to hand off or throw the ball. That's a real concern. The fact that they didn't have to even test him at all this year, they went into this year with Jarrett Stidham that says something about him, but I don't know, man. This is a big stage. I'm not sure that Jarrett Stidham's up to the task. This feels like a 20-10 game to me.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying the only chance that the Broncos have to win is if the plane crashes on the way to the game.
With all these ball clubs flying around all season, wouldn't you think there'd be a plane crash? But think about it. 26 teams, 162 games a season. You would think eventually an entire team would just get wiped out.
Threw that one in there for you. Perfect segue there. How about that? What do you think about this? So I was thinking about betting on the game, right? I don't do big bets on lines. I'm a prop bet guy. And I saw the money line was like plus 200, plus 220 for the Broncos. I said, fuck it. I'm going to go Broncos minus 2.5. It's like plus 260. I had a boost, so it's like 3-1 odds. Broncos minus 2.5. I like that more than the plus 5.5, because what scares me is the pick six from Simmons to end the game, something like that, where you're down 3 and then all of a sudden they lose by 10, even though it was a really close game. So I really like that bet. I don't want to bet on the Patriots. Obviously, Patriots money line is not good value, but Patriots minus 5.5. I just don't know how aggressive they're going to be. I think their offensive line's in shambles right now. Here's one thing I do know, Storey. Bad offensive lines, which right now the Patriots do have a pretty bad offensive line, they don't travel. And they definitely don't travel to Mile High Stadium with that crowd, with the elevation, with that defense. Nick Modino and company, dude, bearing down on you. Pat Surtain going to be able to lock down whoever he wants.
And what does that mean exactly? Like, lock down their number one wide receiver? So lock down Cortland
Booty.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, other way. Yeah. Booty. Diggs, yeah. I guess. Like, I don't know. I just don't. The Patriots have done everything that has been asked of them. Like, they weren't asked. They're not being asked to blow out opponents, right? Vrabel's winning the way that he needs to win. So why? I don't know why that would change going into this game when you've got a backup quarterback at the helm. The defense is like, if the Broncos can't score, like, then how are they winning this game? I don't understand where the offense is coming from in this game.
Okay, you're acting like Bo Nix is John Elway, bro. Like, Bo Nix has been erratic at best this year. And, I don't know how much of a downgrade it is. Maybe it's downgrade in terms of athletically, but I think Stidham's a sneaky athlete. So, yes, you're going to have less, first down rushes by the quarterback. I'll give you that. But Jarrett Stidham has a big arm, man. I don't know. I just, I've been pretty lukewarm on Bo Nix. I loved him coming out just based on where he was drafted, like quarterback 5. But I have been not as impressed. I know he's gone to the playoffs 2 years. I'm saying individually game by game, drive by drive, play by play. He's been inconsistent, and he throws picks. He does dumb things. I think the caretaker mentality and letting this defense actually do what they're capable of doing is the way to win this game. And also, it's a no one believes in us thing. No one is believing in the Broncos. It opened at 5.5 on the road. They're hosting. They are hosting. They're number 1 seed. They're hosting the fucking AFC Championship game, and they're getting 5.5 points. That
Well,
never
first of
happens.
all, that line has moved. It's 4.5 now, which tells you that money's coming in on the Broncos. So it's not that nobody's giving them a chance. It's that I'm not giving them a chance because I don't. Sure, defense is outstanding, but we just saw the Patriots put up a butt ton of points against Houston, who has a really good defense, probably the number 2 defense in the league compared to Denver.
Hold on. The scoreboard says I put up a lot of points, but that was because Houston kept on giving them the ball. And I guess they didn't score a lot of points off turnovers, but it's like, dude, that was not even a real football game. Like CJ Stroud was not ready to play. That was one of the worst things I've seen. I'm trying to think of a worse performance I've seen in the playoffs.
If Stroud wasn't ready to play, why do we think that Stidham is ready to play? A guy who couldn't hack it in Las Vegas and has bounced around since his 2009 draft date. A guy who has not taken first team reps until this week. In practice, let alone in the game. I mean, over under 1.5 interceptions for Jarrett Stidham.
Pretty high. You don't ever see that. You see a juice 0.5. You never see 1.5.
Yeah, that's a lot. So and the Patriots defense no slouch either. Plus, I mean, it's a versatile game between the passing, the running. You know, Drake May is a sneaky athletic guy as well. Not as athletic as Bo Nix was, but yeah, I don't know. I like if they get a pick six or a scoop and score or a special teams touchdown, sure they could stick in it. But push comes to shove, I'm going to trust Vrabel to get this thing done with his full team healthy versus a team that's literally starting a backup quarterback.
Will Campbell is not. I mean, I like Will Campbell coming out. He is not up for this performance. His only like good showing this postseason has been recovering fumbles. He's recovered 2 Drake May fumbles. And like he has also let up the sacks that have caused the fumbles. But I don't think he's ready. I think this is a tough ask for that offensive line. That's my worry if I was betting on the Patriots is next thing you know, Drake May has 2 fumbles and a pick, and it's the middle of the third quarter, and it's a 3-point game, right? Like I love Drake May. I feel like the Patriots are a year too early. And here's the problem. If the Broncos win, they're going to get destroyed by either the Rams or the Seahawks. So let's turn over to that game. A couple comments here. Denver's defense is going to eat. Dom, I agree with you. Stidham or Broncos skill players don't turn the ball over. Denver will win if they don't. This is for you, Storey. Live snaps are a lot different than practice snaps. It's all about timing and game speed. McDaniels knows him best being his coach. That's not in the Broncos' favor. That is a pretty good call. I didn't think about that factor. That's why we have the chat here. That's why you have the best community in goddamn fantasy fucking sports right here.
Yeah.
Very smart people.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Live snaps are a lot different.
Ingram is a great tight end for simplifying the passing game, and Sutton will eat those corners. Sutton might, but Ingram's awful. And maybe he comes out, maybe he earns a little bit of that contract, but it's been rough, dude.
I mean, all the arguments you could make this year, rookie Pat Bryant, second year Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton looking like himself last year, RJ Harvey coming on, possibly getting J.K. Dobbins back. Evan Ingram is not the hill that I'd be willing to die on.
No, what a bad contract. Can you believe Evan Ingram is what does he have, the third most single season tight end catches in NFL history? Was it 112? 112 with the Jaguars?
Yeah. With Jacksonville 3 years ago? Something like that? Yeah.
Also, he had the rookie record for catches as well until it was broken by, I think Pitts might have broken it. No, not Pitts. It might have been Pitts. He had like 78 or 80 catches with the Giants. So that's why people were drafting Evan Ingram this year. It was like his first year with, Giants was awesome. First year with Jaguars was awesome. And then the first year with the Broncos was just straight dog shit. Blake, I agree with Blake. Stidham won't turn the ball over like CJ Stroud because CJ Stroud, he tried to take the team on his back when they didn't need him. And Stidham, I think, is going to know that he doesn't have to win this game. He just can't lose this game. Keep the game close. Trust your defense. Trust your coach. Sean Payton, I know you love Vrabel and you hate Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a better coach than Vrabel. Better coordinator, better offensive coach than Vrabel. I feel like the edge is there, right? Vrabel's a better like regular season coach. Vrabel's a better leader.
I mean,
Sean Payton's a better.
Let's reserve judgment on that. I would say that so far he's had a better career, Sean Payton has, but I'm not willing to say that he's a better overall coach until I see the next 5 years.
Singleton will spy behind the line. That's a good comment. We love Singleton, by the way. Shout out to Singleton for beating ball cancer. It was ball cancer, right?
He's got one ball now. Dude missed one game. Now, they did have a bye in there, but he missed one game. got surgery for testicular cancer, missed a game. They had a bye week, and then he came back. That is just mind blowing when you think about it.
He's a ball cancer survivor we can get behind, unlike Lance Armstrong, that prick. We all hate Lance Armstrong. What an asshole.
He's no good.
Bad person.
He's a no good. No. He's a no good dude.
All right, let's talk about the Rams game real quick. Who are you picking in this game? I know, Storey, for our personal financial gain and shit talking gain for our fantasy postseason league, we need the Rams. I'm going to put up the standings real quick. It's a pretty tight race, man. Chaz has all the Patriots players, so if the Patriots win, he wins. If the Patriots lose, we have a shot. Phantoms doesn't have a lot of players, so it's between Ray is back in the race because he picked up Stidham, so he has a quarterback this week. It's the three fanatics here. It's Chaz, us, and Big Ray, and then I think Richardson and GT, or maybe it's Jonathan, have a chance. I think it's Jonathan because he has a lot of Seahawks. So it's a 5-way race here, which is pretty competitive for the style league it is. Total points.
Yeah, I mean, Ray was apoplectic on the post draft podcast, and he's in the mix. He's in the mix. If Stidham can put together a solid outing and they make it to the Super Bowl, he's got a real chance to finish in the money.
So who are you picking in this game? Seahawks, Rams. It's -2.5. Seahawks are favored at home, which is pretty low line for a home team that's playing, healthiest team besides, Charbonnet. It sucks he got hurt, but very healthy team right now going to that game. Sam Darnold, I think that oblique injury is kind of a phantom injury. I don't know what the fuck that was. He looked fine.
He looked completely fine. They even I don't know if that was gamesmanship because he was even the third quarterback out throwing passes in warmups, but he's fine. There's been nothing about that. Lumen Field is a tough place to play. That's you've got so McDonald's unproven, and not that he's a bad coach by any stretch. He seems to be a very good coach. He's gotten the most out of his team this year. Obviously, people that had Kenneth Walker in the fantasy teams weren't thrilled with the distribution of touches, especially those inside the 5 and the 10 zone. But they seem to have put a really good team on the field. The defense is probably it's not as good as Denver's and probably not as good as Houston still. It's solid defense. The offense is doing just enough what they need to do. High leverage situation, though, I kind of trust McVay and Stafford more. Stafford's been there. Everybody was really worried about the Rams. And while Stafford didn't throw any touchdowns last week, he certainly put together a very impressive performance against that Bears defense in a tough environment. I will say that. I would love for the Rams to continue on, but they have struggled in their first 2 games putting opponents away. So I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks here.
I mean, I have to go Seahawks too because I've been talking up the Seahawks since week 5, right? As the best team in the NFC, the team that if they play their best game, they can't be beaten by anybody, which we saw against the Niners. That was one of their best games. We've seen it in the regular season where there's just handful of games where they're up 28 points in the middle of the second quarter, which not many teams are capable of doing it. That requires elite defense and elite offense and playmaking, and they have that. Comes down to Sam Darnold, man, Sammy D, and Matt Stafford needs to play what the level he was playing earlier in the year. And the playoffs, he has not been that guy. They have not been that team, but maybe they're just fucking around. I just think if this game is close, I like the Rams. I think that I like Stafford in the situation. Devontae Adams has not shown up. Now, I think Devontae Adams is still kind of hurt, which is surprising to me because he looked really healthy in those warm-ups when he didn't play those 2 games, right? I felt like they were just it were precautionary. It was precautionary. They were holding him out. And, I don't know, man. I guess I have to take the Seahawks. I have to trust my gut for what I've been saying all year. But I just have a hard time picking against Stafford and McVay, and McVay is the best coach left in the playoffs.
I'm not going to argue that. Plus, Stafford's been there before, right? He's won a Super Bowl with this team and this coach and this offensive scheme. So he's been there in big spots plenty of times. It's difficult to think that they're not going to get it done again because they have won. I mean, the Bears were not a bad team. They were kind of scooting along on hope and a prayer, but they, in spots, a very good team. The Rams buckled down in overtime, did what they needed to do. Carolina, scrappy team. We wanted to see the Rams kind of elevate their play above that. They didn't really get there. That might have been looking ahead, overlooking that opponent. But Seahawks, I mean, Charbonnet probably makes a big difference, but I still think that the Seahawks are a better overall team. The Rams might be more complete in terms of both sides of the ball, especially on offense because of the quarterback. and the receiver. Well, you got Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I just think the Rams are better, like in virtually every facet, just slightly better across the board, except for quarterback and number one wide receiver. Maybe depends on what you think.
What do you think Kenneth Walker's total yards prop, rushing and receiving prop is this week? No Zach Charbonnet. Rams defense has looked a little shaky. What do you think his number is?
Better hope that he doesn't do a lot of tiny dancing up. I would go 84.5.
114.
Holy cow.
You believe that, dude? It was up to 115.5. I wanted to bet the under so bad. I think it's at 114 or 113 right now. It should be an under, right? We should just hammer that under.
I don't know what they're coming from on that. That is wild. Like,
I mean, his last two games are like 145 and 140.
Right.
So I mean, that's why.
Okay.
And there's no Charbonnet, and like George Helani is coming back from IR. You have Cam Akers there. You don't have a lot of options there at running back behind the tiny dancer Kenneth Walker, but that's a CMC Bijan Robinson number, and this is the playoffs. Like, so should we hit that? Should I hit that story? Should I add another bet to the play? What do you think? I want to get your blessing before I do it because I don't like to bet a lot of unders.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those that it doesn't make sense to me, but so like the fact that if I was like, if I had thought like 104 is 114, I'm like, yeah,
you're off by 20. But you're off by 20 yards.
30 yards. That tells me that I'm not seeing the forest for the trees there. So I probably would be like, okay, I obviously don't see something the books do. I'm staying away from it.
Yeah. Shout out. Little Two Dice wants a shout out. There you go. Man, that's just such a high number. Like he could have 90. He could have 90 rushing yards and 20 receiving yards and go under that number.
110 yards is a really good game in the playoffs. A really good game, right? Like,
yeah. If it goes back up, because I could have had it at 115 and I didn't pull the trigger, and I think I just should. I mean, you could lose the bet, right? But like that's just you're insulated on so many ways. Game flow could kill him. He could get a little banged up in this game. Like it could just be more of a defensive struggle.
You got the injury possibility. It's not that Kenneth Walker has been a pinnacle of health in his career either, and with more banging around in the red zone, like, that's where defenses bring in, they take off the dime in the nickel corner, they bring in an extra linebacker. Is he going to get banged up a little bit down there?
Jason bet heavy on the Jags, and it bit me in the ass. He's talking about the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, good thing we didn't take Josh Allen because he gone. And you know what? Chaz made the announcement yesterday, which is hilarious, that he missed the first pick. He had the second pick. He missed it. It got auto-drafted to Drake May. He said he would have taken Josh Allen. So the motherfucker lucked into Drake May and the Patriots. So I'm going to pay him out 80%. He's not getting his full money because he admitted that.
Smart.
Yeah. J-Bob, what's going on? Shout out J-Bob. Go Birds, right? Are we going Go Birds now? Is it bird season?
Go Birds.
Yeah, go Birds.
Eagles. Go Birds, though.
Oh, go Birds. All right, fine. Go Birds.
Right?
I know go Birds.
Get your hand off my knee.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
What are they doing in an offensive coordinator story? McDaniels was the play.
I don't know. Probably Kafka, I would guess. Unless he's probably getting fired by Harbaugh, so I would think I would think Kafka is going to be available. He's left. I don't know. Pete Carroll, maybe.
Man, they really.
Yeah, I don't know.
They didn't hire Drew Petzing. That would have been a nice hire for them. Drew Petzing.
Oh, that would have been a nice hire. Yeah. Who else is floating around out there? Still,
no one good, because all the guys that are good are just going to take head coaching jobs, dude. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of head coaching jobs available. So
they
need somebody.
Don't forget, like Arizona and who Cleveland. They haven't filled their head coaching positions yet, right?
Dude, nobody wants the Cleveland head coaching position. Everyone's just like withdrawing their name because they don't want it. And you know what? I'll say this, J-Bob. This is a feather in your cap, and the Eagles fans' cap. This is going to, no matter who you hire, it's addition by subtraction, right? Like it can't be worse than what it was last year. And how about this? Can Nick Sirianni call fucking plays, or is he not capable of it? Because I was on the show yesterday saying, what does Nick Sirianni do then? He can't call plays. He can't hire guys. He can't control his fucking his receivers. Like, what can he do? Because if he can't call plays, why do you have him as the head coach? He's obviously not controlling that team.
I don't think he's capable of calling plays.
They got to do something, man. Bring someone in from college, some type of fresh a fresh set of eyes in this team because the talents is, regardless of what I think of Jalen Hurts, which isn't, I don't think very highly of him, he's still an above average NFL quarterback with some really elite skills. Saquon Barkley, top 5 offensive line. A.J. Brown, who's still, 29 years old, 30 years old. Devonta Smith, for my money, is a top 15 talent in the league. You agree?
Yeah, I think he's outstanding, but they never utilized him properly because it was a ton of go routes, outs, and crossers, but they never really utilized smart concepts. You look at what one of the things that actually indicates success for a passing game is the pre-snap motion, and the Eagles were third to last in terms of pre-snap motion last year, and it's just bad coaching, bad schemes, bad everything, and he should have been fired midseason.
Jason says, J-Bob, I hope you get Grizzard, brother. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I mean, can you blame the struggles of Tampa Bay on Josh Grizzard last year? Probably not, right? It probably had a combination of injuries and bad play from Baker Mayfield.
And you're coming off Liam Cohen, who's clearly a wizard. I mean, he made Trevor Lawrence into an MVP candidate. That makes you a wizard in terms of football circles, if you ask me. Because I don't think Trevor Lawrence all of a sudden took a step as a player. Now, he did take a little bit of a step, but it wasn't all on Trevor. I would say it was more Liam Cohen success than Trevor Lawrence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So it's not necessarily Grizzard's fault, but Dakota says Broncos Rams money line parlay. You don't like it because of the Broncos.
I want the Rams to win. Like I would really be. Okay, so I'm happy for the Patriots. People are like, oh, they've had enough success, et cetera, et cetera. This is a brand new team with a new coach, new scheme, new system, et cetera, et cetera. So that's fine. I like Drake May. He's a little cocky for my taste. I hate the Broncos and I hate Sean Payton. So that's the one team I hope loses. On the NFC side, for our fantasy prospects, I hope that the Rams go forward. But, the Rams have been there recently. I wouldn't mind seeing Sam Darnold go to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind seeing Mike McDonald. I actually like him as a head coach going to the Super Bowl. So for me, it's a conflict of like, oh, I want these kind of new guys, the Seahawks, to kind of get in and do it versus, the Rams because I got the fantasy aspect of it. Plus, I like Puka Nacua a lot.
You know who the NFL does not want in the Super Bowl? Sam Darnold versus Jarrett Stidham. I can promise you they do not want that matchup because all your casuals have no fucking idea who either of those guys are. Definitely not Stidham, but like Sam Darnold's been a journeyman at this point. And like the Seahawks are a loyal fan base. They're not a big market. Like you want the two MVPs, Stafford, May, boom, head to head, Patriots, Rams, LA, New England, which is an entire region of the country.
Right. LA is the second biggest NFL market. And Stafford is a household name. So is Sean McVay. Puka Nacua is widely known. Jackson Smith-Njigba, third-year guy. He's still coming up in the league. Kenneth Walker.
He's not flashy, right? Like that's the thing about JSN. He's not a flashy dude. Like Puka's, had some controversy. People know him because his year. JSN had an equally dominant year, but he's not a household name. He should be, but he's not.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Seattle, not that they're new to the postseason and to the Super Bowl, obviously, because they've got two Super Bowl appearances in as many years over the last decade or so. But this team itself I don't think anybody expected them to be the number one seed in the NFC. Certainly not the number one seed. I don't think anybody expected them to win 14, 15 games, whatever it was. So there's a lot I would agree that the NFL definitely wants the Rams in from a viewership perspective.
J-Bob wants to know if Jason's still riding with Baker. And would you still ride with Baker? This is a rough year. He was clearly hurt, though. Multiple injuries.
Yeah, I would expect that we get some news around training camp that he had some kind of off-season surgery or something related to the shoulder. That would be my guess. What about Brian Daboll? Daboll hasn't signed anywhere yet, has he?
No, Daboll, I think he's going to go to the Bills. Real quick, though, about Baker, where do you think this is, early ADP, not even ADP, early rankings for next year? Where do you think Baker is in quarterback rankings? Let's not forget, Baker this year was quarterback 7, I believe. Generally ended at quarterback 7. Where do you think Baker's going this year?
I would have thought he'd be higher than that.
2026. No, he was quarterback 7, like going into this year, like 2025.
Right, he was only 7 last year? I would have put him at 5 because who was
No, he was 7 because Mahomes was 6. He was 7.
Okay.
And then Bo Nix was 8. So
14 for Baker?
18, bro. That's how
Okay.
the fantasy community just goes crazy with these things.
Yeah.
Like Baker should never gone that high last year, and he should never go this low this year. Like, dude, 18. Baker is, he gets rushing touchdowns. He's got awesome weapons. If Mike Evans comes back, Evans, Godwin, Jalen McMillan, a Big Boo, I guess, is there. He's terrible, but Kate Otton's fine. Like Bucky Irving, like they have the players around him, and that defense is terrible. Like the defense isn't getting any better. That's the key with Baker.
They're also probably going to sign a tight end. Like there's no way they're going into this next season with Kate Otton.
You hate Kate Otton. What is your? Did
I don't hate Kate Otton,
do something to your wife?
He does nothing. He brings literally nothing to the table, either from a fantasy.
The man plays without gloves. He's a badass.
Yeah. Okay. Great news. I guess.
Who is he referring to? Low key, the two Seans might be the best coaches in the league. Sean McVay and Sean McDermott.
Sean Payton.
Oh well, I don't like to think about Sean Payton, and you know. Okay, you don't like Sean Payton, but admit that Sean McVay is elite. Can you admit it? Finally,
relative to the other coaches in the league, yes, he is elite.
That's the exercise. And then Jason's answer to the Baker question: 1,000,000% J-Bob. Rather have Baker than the darkest version of Simple Jack, which who he's firing some shots at our boy Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Simple Jack.
Simple Jack, the story of a mentally impaired farmhand who can talk to animals, was a box office disaster that many critics called one of the worst movies of all time.
Got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
But now the question is, can speed...
We're Sean Payton, Sean McVay. So are you team Sean or team Mike then? Because you got what? Mike Vrabel and Mike Kafka, or not Kafka, Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald versus the two Seans. That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, I love Vrabel. I just don't think Vrabel he's in over his head in terms of this game. I feel like I love Vrabel regular season. I love him how he can resurrect a program. He's more of a college type football coach, which doesn't always work in the playoffs. And let's be honest, man, they should have lost. They should have lost to the Texans. If CJ Stroud just plays a C+ game, that was an F from CJ Stroud. That was an F- from CJ Stroud. And they were down by 8 points with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Do the math there, man. With 5 turnovers?
It was
unreal.
Yeah. So 8 turnovers over 2 games, maybe 9 turnovers over 2 games. Because he had something like 5 fumbles, 2 lost in the first game. But
he's terrible.
I don't know. Like, it's tough to say that Vrabel's out of his head when the team is 14-3 in the regular season, and they've won both of their playoff games so far.
They squeak by. Okay. Jason says must watch Bucks Falcons this coming up year. Baker calling out Stefanski. Did you hear that? Did you see this?
I did see that. Yeah. That there's been a lot of off-season drama. So you had that with Baker calling out Stefanski. You had the director of football operations, Bean in Buffalo, calling out Keon Coleman. Did you guys talk about that?
Oh, what the hell? Not only he called out McDermott for drafting Coleman, which makes no sense because McDermott's a defensive coach. Why the fuck is he telling the team what wide receiver to draft? That's not accurate, right?
This was throwing McDermott under the bus, like throwing a coach under the bus, not unheard of from an administrator, but throwing a coach under the bus based on a guy that's still on your roster. Like how does that do for morale? Like, if I have a bad, if I have a down season, the GM's just going to call me out on national TV. That's bad. I can't imagine that the vibes are good in that locker room.
Keon Coleman's done. He's done. Like not only just with the Bills, but like now you know what they think of him, and the rest of the league knows what they think of him. So like before this comment, Keon Coleman probably would have fetched a 5th round pick, maybe just based on his age. Like now, what are you getting for Keon Coleman? A 7th?
I would guess he gets cut. Like nobody's trading for him. Nobody's trading for a guy that was inactive for 3 out of the last 5 weeks. Like coach's decision. Nobody's trading for that guy. Period.
Right. Yeah. You mix the coaching decision, the missing meetings, and just the drop he had. I know that call or that was a penalty already on the offense. That drop in the divisional round. Like, dude, if you can't get open, you better catch. You can't get open or catch.
You know who might sign for him? It would be if Tomlin was still in Pittsburgh, they're a team that would reach out and trade for Keon Coleman and overpay for him. Sound like a 5th round pick. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's any hope for him as a player? If he cleans up the off the field shit, you know?
Maybe. I don't know. It's tough because I did like him coming out of Florida State, but he has too many, like, I guess people thought like the same thing with George Pickens. Like, is there any hope for this guy? And he cleaned things up. So yeah, I would say I'm not willing to rule anybody out. Anybody can kind of get their life together and make a go out of it, except for Justin Blackman, unfortunately.
Who has male cheerleaders? I'm rooting for them. That's the penitentiary team from Longest Yard. Those are tranny cheerleaders, though. But God, what a fucking great scene that is. That is such a great scene.
Hey, you ever accidentally masturbate to young pictures of your mom?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Have you ever done that?
What? Oh, no. Personally, no, I haven't. I'm sure that.
I agree. Otten's a dog. I love Otten. He's not like the future at tight end, but he's a stable presence there. Good blocker. He's steady. Is that not a ringing endorsement on the guy?
Fine, I guess, but like how many times from a fantasy perspective do we say like this is Otten's week? This is Otten's week, right? Everybody's hurt. Here's Cade Otten, and he goes 2 for 28. Like there's just he's not even that consistent in terms of like he's not even a Mark Andrews where he's catching touchdowns on a regular basis. You
have another Sean Payton hater here. Baked Biz Quiz, not Payton. He hates Sean Payton, and you hate Sean Payton.
I do hate Sean Payton. I also dislike Sean McDermott, and the question is, where is he going to end up now?
He should be hired up in a second just because of all the open jobs and there's not enough good candidates. You know, like I was saying yesterday, dude, there was 10 open jobs this year. A third of the league fired their head coach this year.
I know, it's crazy.
Dude, that's just too much. That's crazy, dude. Like, because there's not enough good candidates, and it's a coaching carousel, and generally white men getting these jobs that are not qualified, or they're the really young white guys, because everyone's trying to recreate Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. But the difference is Sean McVay is an elite offensive mind. He was hired at 32 years old. He had the, what up here, he had what it took, and obviously his leadership was the question. Ben Johnson was the dude, right? He was the most sought-after offensive mind for the last 2 seasons before he took the Bears jobs. Those guys aren't available right now because they all have jobs or they're staying in their current spots.
Right. So, like, prior to the start, would you say that Harbaugh was the most, like, not prolific, but the most, I'm trying to use my words carefully because I guess the most, has the most upside in terms of a head coaching hire?
I think he's more of a floor play. You know what I mean? You just know what you're going to get. You have an adult. That's what the Giants needed. The Giants have a good roster, or they will have a good roster after this draft, especially if Abdul Carter can be a grown-up for once. And that's the nice thing is a guy like Harbaugh will not let Abdul Carter miss meetings and shit.
I can't believe that the NFL's given Saleh another go at it.
I can, because what he did with that 49ers defense was I know that's just one side of the ball, but like he just needs to get some better offensive minds around him, a couple better guys to help, guys that have head coaching experience, some veterans around him, because Robert Saleh is an elite defensive coordinator. You can't deny that.
No, but as a head coach, like he absolutely fell on his face.
And it's an offensive league, which is the problem, right? Look at Sean McDermott just got canned. All right, I'm going to hit you guys with the intro. Sorry, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm just saying, look at the division that he's in. Jacksonville, Indy, if Daniel Jones comes back healthy, was playing quite well on offense there. So I don't know. How do you keep up with those teams?
I don't know. There's a lot harder divisions. Like try coaching in the NFC North. That's going to be the toughest division ever, especially if the Vikings can retain everybody. I know they're trying to keep Flores. I don't know. Flores should be hired again. Personally, he's better than a lot of these candidates. But again, Flores not a good head coach in terms of his past. In Miami, it was rough.
I will say that Brian Flores definitely has more potential than some of these coaches. Like I would have given Flores a shot over Harbaugh.
Yeah, he's fresher, he's younger. I love Brian Flores. All right, hit you guys with the intro. Be back with all the questions after this. All right, let's get a couple questions in here, and then I want to go through. I asked you to get 3 dynasty values for me. Looking forward to talking some dynasty now. We're going to do our dynasty league startup draft is in May, gentlemen. It's going to be a very, very good time. It's going to be a fun time, a good time. Here we go. Did they hire Dayball? Dayball is definitely going to be on the Bills, right? Just the Josh Allen connection. They have to do something to make this guy happy because like he was already crying at the press conference. Now they fire his guy McDermott. Now they're throwing people under the bus. They're like the Bean thing, like promoting that dude. Like he was the problem. Would you agree? And I'm not saying McDermott wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
But like he was the reason they had Keon Coleman. He was the reason that their defense had like no Pro Bowlers.
You look back at like the last 50 picks or something like that, they've had 2 Pro Bowlers. And I know the Pro Bowl isn't a metric by which we should judge NFL talent on the regular, but it does give you like a general direction. The fact that, Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl and the Bills could muster 2 Pro Bowlers over the last 50 draft picks, it speaks volumes about the guy that's at the helm there. This is just bad owners holding on to bad GMs because they're afraid of making a mistake.
Yeah, it's just they have to do Dayball. The problem is, where was this comment? This is a good one. Josh Allen will have 3 to 4 healthy years left with Dayball as head coach. He does get his quarterbacks annihilated. The thing is, Josh Allen you can't annihilate the guy, right? He is just a monster. But eventually it will catch up to him, right? Maybe not next year, maybe not the year after that, but it will catch up to the guy.
Yeah, we'll see where things are at in 4 years, but Josh Allen seems to be aging better than Cam Newton did at this point in their respective careers.
No, I mean by a mile. And it's like, how has Josh Allen never had a concussion?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like maybe he has. The point is he probably has had one.
Yeah, he probably has. When you look at I bet you can go back and find a half a dozen instances over his career where you'd be like, hey, he probably should have come out of the game in that one.
Maybe the New England defense side of the. I don't get this question. Maybe the New England defense side, the Texas. Do you get that?
I'm not sure what he's getting at. They wouldn't.
Sometimes I like to read the questions before I go on to it because I'm just reading aloud. Here we go. Bloodbath fishing. That sounds awesome. Hey man, just wanted to let you guys know my cousin's a 49ers fan. Is there anything you guys can say to cheer him up? Because he's kind of down because his team got their ass kicked. They had no one on offense. They had no one on defense. Their team was decimated.
They probably overperformed relative to where like the talent that was remaining on that roster. That's the only thing. Like, be glad that they got that far, and like, be glad that they didn't have to play this game against Seattle again, where they might have lost more players, more Achilles, more ACLs. We
mentioned this the other day that how lopsided that game was. Jason, I'll get to your super in a second. How lopsided that game was against the Seahawks. How it was just, they look like a minor league team out there. And that's with Brock Purdy and with the best coach and the best coordinator in the NFL in Kyle Shanahan. And they beat the Eagles at home. They beat the Eagles at home. That just shows how much of a mess that Eagles team was. Because like the Eagles talent wise, compared to who they had and who the Niners had healthy, they had 4 times as much talent, right?
Right. I mean, like
sad.
I think it speaks. I think a lot of it speaks to how poorly run the Eagles were on offense too. But yeah, like let's not forget that this team, they lost Pearsall for a good chunk of the year. They lost Kittle, right? The one guy that was constant and really never got hurt was CMC, which is wild.
But he got hurt in that. Obviously, he was hurt going into the Seattle game, and then you saw him. He was struggling, bro.
Yeah, that bad.
Jason says, Story, you hate coaches. What about Mr. Google? I win. Signetti. You like Signetti, right?
I do like Signetti. The dude doesn't give an F. Like, he's just out there doing exactly what he needs to do to put a solid product on the field. He's a good coach. People make fun of him on the sideline all the time, but he's dialed into the game. But he's not like dialed in like a dick. You know how some like McVay, he's got a guy that's like his job is to like keep him on the sideline, which is stupid. Like you're a head coach. You should be able to control your own sideline.
You would think so.
Yeah. No, I like Signetti. And you look at that team 2 years ago was an absolute disaster. Indiana football never won a national championship, never even sniffed the Big Ten championship prior to this year. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for a fact, but yeah, I mean, And we talked about it with James Madison, the program that he left. Making it to the college football playoffs, top 25 ranking after he's gone. That speaks volumes about him as a coach.
We got a special announcement here. My boy Dakota, thanks, buddy. He is now a professional fanatic, and he's a smart man. He did the yearly membership. So, and I always say, the beer chug fundraiser, we do that. Anyone that signs up for the Patreon gets a beer chug out of me if it happens during the stream. And since it's a fanatic Patreon, I got to do a shot and a beer. So,
Ooh, shot of what?
Let's do it, baby. It's whiskey. It's not the best shit, but it's just some. The hell is it? It's the stuff from it's what the fuck is the store? The main store that you get the cheap shit from? The big store. You have to pay to be a member there.
Minis? Costco?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I've been drinking some shots, so yeah, he's in for Dynasty. Dakota is in for Dynasty. So we have I was already counting you in, Dakota, because I knew I could count on you for doing that. So we still have 3 openings for the Dynasty League, and if we don't fill them, we'll just have Chaz and Ray fill their own, have their own team. Me and you are doing a co-managed team, right, Storey? We're gonna do that.
Yeah, we want
to do our own team.
We want more spots available for professional fanatics, right? We want more spots available for the Patreon members. So we'll have to co-manage. It'll be like co-parenting.
Yeah, I'm pretty like cool about being a co-parent. I let my kids watch like movies with titties in them when they're like 6 years old. They got to get aware about the titties. You know what I mean?
Well, people are really prude in this country. Like, you can show a kid a John Wick style violence when he's super young, but you show a titty and the next thing you know, it's a big brouhaha. I say, get him early. My sex ed that we had in school, big disappointment for me. Big disappointment. I want to see more titties.
Well, now you can just watch an interracial gangbang video when you're 6 years old if you have a phone. You know what I mean?
Did you know
Easy to
in
look it up.
Florida, you have to age identify? You have to verify your age in order to access pornography websites?
How do you do that?
You actually, you go to one of the websites and it's like, hey, you're in Florida, you got to verify your age. It'd be like, we're not going to store anything. It'll take you to this third-party age verification website, and then you upload a picture or you take a selfie or a video or something like that, and they verify it against public databases, and then supposedly everything gets wiped, and then you're good to go. I don't believe a word of it. Yeah. I think
Weird.
First of all, government overreach. Like, come on. You're telling me that I need to as an adult, I have to verify my age to access pornography? What an absolute trample of our freedoms.
Jesus. Anyways, thanks again to Dakota. Here's Helen Hunt. Say hello to Helen.
Hello, Helen.
There's Helen. There's Helen without makeup. Love it. Real quick, shout out. I got to change this graphic now that Dakota is now officially a fanatic, but shout out to the Patreon subscribers. Appreciate all of you guys. And besides just supporting your boys here, you get more than just that. You get access to the Discord community, which is 75 people strong. You get community fantasy leagues. We're talking about the Dynasty League. Once redraft starts next year, we're going to have 5 or 6 of those fuckers, all different price ranges. Play against me, against Storey. Play against Ray so you can talk shit to him. Guest appearances on the show. You want to be sitting where Storey's sitting. You want to be sitting in between us, talking football with us. That's another perk. Dakota, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to now. Free merchandise giveaways. Dakota, I'm going to send you a hat. Anyone that signs up for the Fanatic tier gets a free hat on me, baby. I'll get your information. Send it to you free of cost. And probably the biggest perk is early access to my bet story. 92 and 55. And I did the math. I ran it all up. 201 and 122 since we started the show. That's pretty good.
What's that percentage?
62 and a half. I looked up your numbers, Storey, because Storey did 2 years on the show with me for the for beating the odds. You were 34 and 19 your first year, and then you went 500 your second year. So you're still like 15 over 500. You're going to hop on next year and do a couple plays. I also want to get some college plays out of you. So maybe like 2 college plays a week and 2 NFL plays a week. Get your record going. I know you know your shit. People want to follow us. So, or just pick my
college record is a lot better than my NFL record. I will say that.
Well, not on. You gave me 3. You've given me 2 picks this year. I was over 2. So fuck you. Blake said Blake already sent me the new Patreon because he's the media manager of the show and he's the fucking bomb. Already sent me the updated list. Anyways, if you want to hop on board, professionalfanatics.com or link in the description for the Patreon. Get you in the Discord. And what do we call the Discord story? We call it it's the place to be.
It's what do you call it, Kramer? It was Come on, Rudy. Come on. We call it the place to be. The place to be. Yes.
Nice.
Blake, you are really quick with that shit. I bet that's probably the only thing he's quick at. I bet Blake just really gives it to the girl and just doesn't take his time. He takes his time. He doesn't really bust too quick. Nothing worse than coming too quick, right? Girls don't like that. Unless they're
to my knowledge, they don't like that. But maybe some girls don't even want to like really be part of it, and they're like, let's just get this over with. I'm just speculating.
Bill Cosby's girls. I have a question for you. Now, I've never had sex with a prostitute, and I'm guessing you haven't either, or you wouldn't want to admit it anyway if you had.
I have not.
Do you pay per cum or do you pay per hour? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you pay for one time, like if you come in like 30 seconds, like that's a good value for the hooker. If you're drunk and you take 30 minutes to come, that's a bad value for the hooker. So how do they charge these things? Does it depend on the hooker?
Well, I mean, it depends on like whether they're an escort or a prostitute. Like
I'm talking about a hooker, like a hooker, the bottom of the barrel. Hookers are bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, in general, you're paying for whatever the service is. In that case, you got a menu of services.
One round.
Choose Z-Job, for example.
Huh.
You know what a
Z-Job is?
about this?
No, what's a Z-Job?
If you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Good. Tell me everything.
Okay, they were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what?
Damn it, Bonnie.
Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less. Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
That Z-Job line is from Beer Fest.
Oh, not too familiar. Thoughts on Mendoza going to the Raiders? I don't want to talk too much about this. We have a whole month to talk about Mendoza. I just started doing the quarterbacks for my scouting, and Mendoza I'm very torn on. He seems very pro ready, hard worker, love his moxie, love the personality. I know he's gonna be he's the franchise quarterback up here above the neck. Talent level is above average for sure, but like, what do you think about him in the Raiders spot?
He's got the talent. And he's got the intelligence. He's got, like you said, the moxie. Got that dog in him, whatever that means. I'm sick of that phrase. But like his accuracy is very, very good. His decision making. If you walk through, or you hear him walk through, like the decision that he made on that touchdown run, that go ahead touchdown run, it's quite incredible because like if they did zone, they did one. He was going to do one thing. If they did man, he was going to do another. But half the field went zone, half went man. So he had to make a decision, and eventually he's like, I'm going to live and die. Like, I'm going to die before I don't get this ball in the end zone. I'm going to make it so that I take it myself, which I love that mentality. But that's just to say, like, he's really good at decision-making. Plus, he throws just about the best spiral that I've seen in 10 years. Like, he's just solid. He's got all the tools. The question is, like, it's the Raiders. Like, how successful can he realistically be? You know what I mean?
You like it for Brock Bowers, though, right? Like, this is real nice for Brock Bowers.
I think Brock Bowers is going to be a nice value next year, depending. Like, if people remember the rookie year or if they go back and they remember last year.
Top 20. He'll be on that 2-3 turn right there. A little earlier than when McBride went last year, but McBride will be a first-round pick, by the way, which will be a bad value.
Yeah, there's no
bad value. I almost want Bowers over McBride in a vacuum.
Well, think about it. Like, a lot of what made McBride so successful is a lot of what happens when dudes are the only guy left. Now, I know Michael Wilson is Jerry Rice or turned into Jerry Rice, but dude, they were throwing the ball 45 times a game. Like one game, they threw the ball 58 times or something like that. The yardage was crazy. The touchdowns were crazy. They were playing from behind.
Game script was perfect. It's the same thing with Bowers' rookie year, right? And by the way, he was Jerry Rice. He is Jerry Rice. He didn't turn into Jerry Rice. Michael Wilson's always been Jerry Rice.
Yeah. So,
mic drop.
Like you had mentioned, that is, that's what we saw with Bowers his rookie year. That's what we saw with Brian Thomas when he was the only game in town. So I do have a little worry about some regression from Trey McBride.
This is a Kevin Durant Supersonics jersey, by the way, if you're wondering. Kevin was wondering. Peyton can suck my massive schlong. Harry Balzac. He not only does he have a Harry Balzac, he's got a massive schlong alongside that Harry Balzac. So congratulations to you, Harry. Hopefully your wife has one of those large vaginas that they talk about in Curb Your Enthusiasm. with large vaginas.
Big mouth Billy Vagina.
A lot of people hate Sean Payton up in here. Blake, Flores signed an extension with Minnesota, but they came out saying they signed him in case he doesn't take a head coaching job. So he can still, avoid the contract or whatever and go take a head coaching job. So they call that the Urban Meyer. Or what was the coach that did that signed a contract and left like 5 days later? I'm guessing it was Urban Meyer because he's a clown.
Didn't Josh McDaniel do that?
Yeah, it's probably him. I mean, there's been a couple coaches. Browns are struggling to fulfill the Rooney Rule. The top 2 black candidates have withdrawn from consideration. They'll find some dudes. They'll find a guy in the streets to bring in. The Rooney Rule, what a joke that is. They're getting opportunities. What a weird joke. Blake says, what an intro. Speaking of some clowns, Stephen A. Smith and Ryan Clark. I blast them. I fucking hate. Ryan Clark's the new Stephen A. Smith. What a clown. You hate him, right?
I'm not a fan.
Simply put. Let's see here. Bears getting Max Crosby. I think I talked about this yesterday on the show. It's either the Bears or the Cowboys in my mind that are going to get Max Crosby. Would you agree with that?
There's a lot of potential trade, not potential, but people speculating what the Bears would have to give up to give Max Crosby. And the more I see him, the more I realize how realistic they actually are. The Bears need to unload some cap room anyway. Like they're going to be over the cap if they don't restructure some stuff next year. So it would make sense to kind of unload some of this stuff. I don't know what Max Crosby has left on his contract, so that might play a part of it. But yeah, the Bears are certainly one of the top 2.
This is a good one from Edson. What's going on, Edson? Patreon member. Appreciate you, bro. Trying to flip Big for the 101. For the 101 rookie dynasty draft. I own the 103, 106, 109, 4 first and 27. Jesus. Now you have a lot of picks, but I would definitely trade Ibuka for the 101, right? You'd rather have Jeremiah Love. You'd rather have Mendoza.
If it's a super flex, Mendoza for sure. If it's not a super flex, I would probably want Jeremiah Love. I think he's a once in a generation talent.
But the thing is, you'd rather have Jeremiah Love than Ibuka all day, right? Like I don't want to.
Absolutely. I know that there's a shorter shelf life with running backs than there are with wide receivers, but a first tier difference making running back is a more valuable asset, even for that short 7 years or so versus the 10 or 12 years you're going to get from a wide receiver.
And Ibuka just isn't that good. I mean, maybe I'm overreacting. I'm not going to throw Ibuka into the Travion Henderson camp that I was saying Travion Henderson's actually not a good player. I think Ibuka has a lot of good traits. I don't think Emeka Ibuka is a number 1 receiver in the NFL. I think it's going to take him some years to get there.
I would like to see what next year looks like before I make that determination, whether he's a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 2. I want to see what things look like with another new offensive coordinator, which is a problem. But Baker being healthy and Ibuka being healthy, because I don't think he was healthy after he came back either.
That's the worry of my take right now is that I mentioned the groin injury he had week 4, didn't miss a game, played through it. His vertical went from 22 inches to 10 inches and still not a good vertical, but I would still do that trade right now because someone's trying to offer you the number 1 pick in a rookie dynasty for Ibuka, who wasn't even the number 1 pick last year. And what did he show us this year? I feel like his stock hasn't gone up. Awesome 5 games, bro, but then a terrible 15 or 12 games.
Yeah. I mean, weird tale of 2 halves with Ibuka, but we saw that with a lot of guys, right? We saw that with Chase Brown on the opposite. We saw that with Jonathan Taylor. This was a weird year just in general.
Edson, I think it's gonna be $100. We're gonna vote on all the rules, Edson. Just hit me up. I'll hit you up in the Discord or send me a message and we can chat. Let's see here. You have to watch the HBO documentary. Which one are we talking about? What HBO documentary?
I don't know.
The Michael Jackson one?
Did you watch Paradise on Hulu?
No, I don't have Hulu. I have it on my box, but what is it?
It's a show with Sterling K. Brown. It's really good. I'm not going to spoil anything about it. You should watch it. 8 episodes. They're like 48 to 52 minutes apiece. You could burn through it in a couple of nights.
Jason says, Mr. Moneybags doing charity work right before tax season starts. This guy. Story's always got an angle, dude.
Appreciate your sentiments, Jared. That's don't think that's not in my concern, but your 2026 or your 2025 taxes ended. Anything you could have done it ended on December 31st, with the exception of contributing to a Roth IRA or an IRA. By the way, if anybody has any financial questions, any advice you need, I'm quite well versed in all that stuff too. So drop them in the chat. Doesn't just have to be fantasy.
Dude, you're like a Renaissance man.
I know.
It's really impressive.
It's crazy.
He's so humble too. He's so humble.
What? I'm really good at a lot of different things. I'm excellent. The one thing that I'm not really good at is being humble.
Yeah, he's always like, I told you so.
Well, you just think you know everything, don't you? You're like a black woman in hindsight.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Exactly what just happened. Oh, that's pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate. That's kind of how I was with Michael Wilson, though.
Yeah.
Like shoving it down. Hey, that was such a big hit, man. I was talking Michael Wilson forever. I'm going to keep on bringing it up. Next year, if he flops, I don't care. He made us so much money this year. Fucking love Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
Love him.
Shout out from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eckler ended up winning one fantasy league, 12-2. Lost the other week by 1 point, also 12-2. 24-4. That's a record to write home about. That's a Michael Wilson fantasy. You must have had Michael Wilson.
Must have had
That's my only thought.
I mean, that's the only logical way that could happen.
Here we go. For the Ibuka trade, the guy wants Ibuka plus for the 101. How much more should I be willing to spend? I have a lot to work with these firsts. So try to give him a second, right? Before you go with your other first round picks you have. Maybe Ibuka, Ibuka plus the 10 or the 201.
No, ask him what he wants. Like you got to get a baseline on what he wants in order to start negotiations. In the negotiations like this, the first person to throw stuff out, they lose, right? This is one of those situations where let them come to you, and then you can make your case for why you're going to give them less. So ask them what they want for Ibuka, and then you can go from there. I'm not just going to throw things out, because what happens if you're like, oh, yeah, I'll give him a first and a second. He's like, done. And you're like, how much did I leave on the table? What kind of value did I leave on the table by doing that? You don't know how this guy values Ibuka.
Very nice. That's negotiation 101 right there. How sure are we the Broncos lose this week? What do you think the chance of the Broncos win? I think it's 40%.
I mean, it's not like super low. I'm probably in that 35 to 40% range. I'm probably less than what the books have it at. But yeah, I mean, any team, any given Sunday. Jared Stidham worries me.
My only rule is never take financial advice from a guy in a Miller Lite hoodie. Story. He's like, right. He's like, is that me? He'll take it from a guy in a Sonics jersey, though, right? I know. I'm not wearing a Miller Lite jersey.
You know, the reason you should take financial advice from a guy in a Miller Lite jersey is because, in general, they got this for free, bro.
Oh, see, yeah, you got to take the free shit, right? It fits you, though.
About
which
it.
is nice.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into your dynasty, your 3 dynasty values?
Yes.
You want to pull those up?
Let me go to the bathroom, and I'll grab my cheat sheet that I made up just for this.
Yeah. Damn, you're gonna leave me to my own devices here. I can't talk on my own. I can't host a show myself. Oh my god, I got to panic play a clip. I'll go through my guys. Me and Chaz did this exercise yesterday. I'll go through my names real quick and then see what Story thinks of them. First name I had was Bartelt Tootin, RB28 in Dynasty. Main reasoning there is I don't think ETN is going to be on the team next year. I can almost guarantee you they're not re-signing ETN. Again, not set in stone. ETN wants a lot of money. He's deserved a lot of money. And Trevor Lawrence is now essentially their goal line back. So Bartelt Tootin is a better banger than him anyway. They like LaQuint Allen. So I'm going all in. Bartelt Tootin should be RB20 in my mind, just based on all the things. And this is a perfect time to get him because once ETN moves on, Bartelt Tootin is going to go to running back 17, right? Something like that. Second guy for me was Pat Bryant, wide receiver 70. I don't know how they had Troy Franklin at wide receiver 55, which is just wild to me that he's ahead of Pat Bryant, who has just clearly taken his role. And Troy Franklin, I know Bo Nix likes Troy Franklin. They were Oregon teammates. Congratulations. He has not impressed me at all. He's dropped a lot of passes. Not that versatile. And Pat Bryant isn't that versatile either, but he is that big slot. We've seen forever with Sean Payton. Think of Marcus Colston just making a career out of that position. And Pat Bryant is a good blocker. He is a sturdy player. Really, really, really love Pat Bryant. The other running back I had, now I'm forgetting who I had. It was JCM, running back 37. I don't understand this. He's a second-year player. I hated him this year for redraft. Didn't really probably like him in Dynasty where he was going last year. Now his stock has plummeted so far. Rough year for JCM, but let's not forget JCM in terms of advanced metrics. He was amazing this year, and he's only going to get stronger. He's going to get bigger. He's going to put on the weight. I like the kid. He should never been a 7th-round pick in the first place. So JCM at running back 37. Some of the names around JCM are Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard, Alvin Kamara, Tajay Spears, Jordan Mason. Like for Dynasty, I don't want any of those guys over JCM. Tyrone Tracy's at 34. Chuba Hubbard's at 33. David Montgomery's at 32. Like, give me JCM as Dynasty. You might have to wait one more year, but JCM with Daniels back, he's a dude. Another guy I mentioned was Josh Downs, and this is mostly kind of similar to the Bayshell Tootin take. I'm pretty confident that Michael Pittman's going to be gone in Indianapolis. So you have no Michael Pittman. Josh Downs will go from a 55, 60% snap player to probably a 75% snap player. He'll never be that 90% guy, but when he's in the field, he earns targets. He's always open, and I know there's some quarterback questions there. That's probably baked into it, but Josh Downs is like wide receiver 50 in Dynasty. So big fan of Josh Downs' game. He's still a young guy. I love his game, man, and it translates to fantasy. The only problem with him has been targets, right? Targets, workload, snaps. Those are his worries. I expect all those things to go up next year. So give me all the Josh Downs in fantasy. And I had an honorable mention, I believe. It was Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver 65. I love Adonai Mitchell. I know you're gonna have Garrett Wilson coming back. This isn't a bad thing for Adonai Mitchell. He's not gonna get all the targets in the world. Quarterback room will be cleaned up. I don't know who's going there. Maybe Kyler Murray. I don't know if that's a good thing for him, but it'll be better than it was last year with the Jets. And Adonai Mitchell, they specifically targeted him in this trade. So give me Adonai Mitchell for free, essentially. So these are guys I'm looking at I want to trade for in Dynasty. I want to trade before free agency. I want to trade for before the draft because I feel like all their stocks are going to go up. Not to mention I like all the players. So those are my dudes. I'm curious to hear who Storey has for his 3 guys. Jason, Storey is the Tom Pelissero of the show. Very similar looks and voice. Both very intelligent and both have a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of people say it looks like Kevin O'Connell as well. I could see that. Storey's a very nice individual. I'm surprised he hangs out with such scum like myself. But, that's just we're old work buddies, I guess you'd say, and we like to make our own beef jerky.
Dad, we're men, okay? That means a few things. We like to shit with the door open. We talk about pussy. We go on riverboat gambling trips. We make our own beef jerky. That's what we do. And now that is all wrecked.
We literally have never done any of those things.
Outstanding.
You remember the Workaholics episode where they make the meat jerking boys, where they try to make their own beef jerky, but they don't actually know how to make the meat into jerky. So they bring in a whole cow in their house, they slaughter it. There's blood everywhere, and like they end up pissing on it and like hanging it up, but they don't do anything. So it's just like wet meat with piss on it. Fucking awesome.
No, I don't remember that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah. So real quick, I gave my names. I'm just gonna give them to you real quick. Bayshell Tootin, RB28. JCM, RB37. Josh Downs, wide receiver 50, and Pat Bryant, wide receiver 70. With Troy Franklin's, Troy Franklin's wide receiver 55. What the fuck is that about?
Good question.
You'd rather have Pat Bryant, right, in Dynasty than Troy Franklin?
Yeah, I think it's quite clear that what's his name? Pat Bryant took over as the number 2 wide receiver there.
And he's a typical Sean Payton guy. I mentioned Marcus Colston earlier. Big slot receiver that's physical, that can block. And like Marcus Colston out of Hofstra, if I recall, 7th round pick, right? Like that
was a big dude.
He was like 6'5". I'm saying like Pat Bryant is a way better prospect coming out than Marcus Colston. And it was always going to take some time, but this is for next year. This is for Dynasty.
Yeah.
Dude, you saw the first quarter of that game. It was he got injured at midfield, right? He played 6 snaps, had 3 catches for 30 yards. Yeah. Unreal. And he gets hurt.
He's going to have a monster game, I think.
Yeah. And then Marvin Mims actually caught the ball for once. You believe that?
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
All right, what do you got for us, Story? 3 dynasty values.
Yeah. So Garrett Wilson, he's wide receiver 15. I got him in the wide receiver 10-ish range for dynasty. Drake May, 28 overall. I've got him top 20. This is super flex, right?
I don't know exactly, but like, what quarterback is he listed as? You know, like, what is his? Like,
Well, he's
quarterback
QB2.
3?
He's QB2.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've got him. He's high 20s. I got him right around 20 overall. I'm going off of this being super flex. And then
quarterbacks are also super valuable in even if it's one quarterback, because they last so goddamn long.
Well, that's especially somebody as young as Drake May. And then Breece Hall, he's RB 10, and I got him in the RB 5 range.
Chaz had Breece Hall yesterday.
Did he?
So, are you expecting Breece Hall? He's not going to be playing on the Jets. Is that your assumption?
I fully expect he'll be gone. So I also think Braylon Allen is a value there too. He's coming. Assuming he's healthy, you don't hear any setbacks from his recovery. I think Braylon Allen is a nice value. But yeah, I like Braylon Hall. I mean, he's 24 years old, right? We saw the efficiency, even a bad Jets offense.
How old is Breece Hall? 24?
I think so.
Dude, that's wild. I could see it. I think he was a 20-year-old rookie, 21-year-old rookie. So
let me just double check.
Gander. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, he's 24. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dude,
yeah,
no way.
Yeah.
He seems like he's 26. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Dude, you know how old Travis Etienne is?
Probably 24.
27?
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was young. Okay. Because he was a 4-year college player then.
26. He'll be 27 like in 4 days.
You have any other names before you unpack these?
No, that's it. These are the 3 guys I went with. I mean,
so you expect Etienne to be gone, right?
I do expect Etienne to be gone. I also expect Breece Hall to be gone. We were talking about that. But I kind of looked at Sam Laporta too, because like, who else do you really want in Dynasty over Loveland, Warren, Bowers, McBride?
Harold Fannin, maybe.
Yeah, Harold. I mean, people are going to throw out Harold Fannin. They're going to throw out Aronde Gadsden, but there's question marks on with both those guys. We've seen a tight end 1 season from Sam Laporta, an elite tight end 1 season.
Dude, I think I was already thinking about this, not even so much for Dynasty, but I was looking at just redraft early stuff because I'm a fucking degenerate. I'm a sicko. Sam Laporta is a tight end 8 or tight end 9 next year in redraft. Like, the overreaction the fantasy community has to these things, and I know he had the injury, but he was having a fine year. It was inconsistent. He's also a tight end, and it's usually most of these guys outside the top 3 guys are touchdown or bust, right? And Sam Laporta is fine as a touchdown or bust guy because he plays on the fucking Lions. They score 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. And, you know, bringing in Drew Petzing there, look what he did for our boy over there in Arizona, right? I'm not saying it was all him. It wasn't just Trey McBride, but like, I know they're going to be playing a lot of 12 personnel, which, you know, as Laporta's going to see the field even more. Brock Wright can't fucking catch passes. I love Sam Laporta. You know, remember how much I hated Sam Laporta coming out of college? I think we both were. But I can admit when I'm wrong, and I don't think Sam Laporta is necessarily a special player. I know he has really good ball skills, and he's really good in the red zone. He's not really he's not really like a Brock Bowers after the catch. He's not even a Rondé Gadsden after the catch. You know, he's kind of just a guy, but he's tied to Jared Goff, who throws 34 touchdowns every single fucking year. And David Montgomery's probably gone.
Almost certainly. They can save money on the cap by cutting him. So he's almost certainly gone.
Ooh, Blake says Tucker Kraft. We forgot about our boy.
We did forget about our boy.
Okay. Yeah, we want Tucker Kraft over Laporta. So yeah, Laporta's like 5 or 6. So yeah, Sam Laporta for me
5 or 6
in any format, right? Give me Sam Laporta, and Sam Laporta's got to be pretty young too, right? 25. This is his 4th year in the league.
He was young, dude. Like, I don't think he was 21 when he entered the league.
Yeah, give me all the Sam Laporta, man. It sounds crazy because, you know, I literally said he was a cum dumpster.
25, yeah, 25, which makes sense.
Yeah, and then what was the other name? You said Breece Hall and then Drake May, right?
Drake May and Garrett Wilson. I know I'm picking 2 Jets. Wow.
Dude, I mean, the Jets can't get any worse. This was absolutely worst case scenario for the Jets this year. Like, could it get any worse offensively, defensively, coaching? Like, Aaron Glenn is just not long for that job. That's the upside there, is that it sounds crazy to say a soon-to-be second-year coach is, like, on the hot seat, but they're the Jets. They fire coaches. The Raiders are still, or the Raiders paying like 5 coaches right now. I think the Raiders are still paying John Gruden.
That's bananas if that's true.
But they hired Pierce. He was there for what, 18 games, 19 games, 20 games.
When did Antonio Pierce take over?
He took over mid-season, right?
November-ish, like.
Yeah, but he got fired before the year ended, I think.
Okay, so
he finished. I think
16 games, something like that.
That's a sign of a bad franchise when you fire guys mid-season, because there's really no reason for it. Like, what you're going to have an interim head coach? Like, that's worse than a lame duck head coach. And, you see the good franchises, they have coaches for 17, 18 years. These motherfucking teams have, like, how many coaches have the Raiders had in the last 8 years? They've had 7 coaches, 6 coaches, and the Steelers have had 3 coaches in the history of their franchise. It's pretty wild.
It's not the history of the franchise, right? It can't be, but it is crazy what it actually is.
Since 1970 or some shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking 55 years ago.
I wonder if Tomlin's going to take a year off.
I think he's going to. He shouldn't, though, because there's always going to be jobs available next year, but there's some good jobs available. Like, Mike Tomlin should go to the Bills right now. Hire Brian Daboll as your offensive coordinator, and boom.
Do you think he wants to go back to being a coordinator?
Who?
Tomlin. Oh
no.
Head coach.
Daboll should be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
because I think we both know Brian Daboll is not mature enough to be a head coach in the NFL. He is way too emotional. I mean, the dude fucking ran into a blue tent. Check out his quarterback. Like, the optics, like the fact that nothing in his head said this is not going to look good.
Right.
And I'm going to get a lot of blowback from the press, the fans, like everyone, because like they weren't going anywhere that year. Like, if they thought with that schedule, we all saw the schedule at the beginning of the year with the Giants, and it was a joke how hard their schedule was. And he was fighting for his job. The point is, you can't put your job security over the future of the franchise and also the future of this kid's health. Like, he's trying to commit murder on the field. And fuck, I do like Brian Daboll for a scrambling quarterback, though, because he just like, hey, buddy, go run.
It kind of makes me nervous about the next quarterback that he ends up managing.
Guessing to bring back Rex Ryan. We need Fireman Ed getting the Meadowlands going again. Why has Rex Ryan been out of work so long? I know he has the media job, but he's also terrible at it. And why do they even let him on the pregame shows?
I don't know. He's been with ESPN for what, a decade? Like, he gets paid.
He's awful.
I know, but people like him.
What happened to his brother? Crazy hair? Rob Ryan?
Rob Ryan. Oh, he was.
Remember his hair?
He was the Cowboys coordinator for a period of time.
Yeah.
Right?
He just disappeared.
He did disappear. I mean, he's on NFL Countdown or something like that, Rex Ryan. Like, I think he's pretty comfortable. Like, you gotta think some of these guys, like, all right, head coaching is such a stressful gig. I did it for, or he started at Kentucky or something like that, like 30 years. I'm gonna be a nice cush job. They're gonna give me a script, and I'm just gonna, give my take on NFL Sunday Countdown. Get paid.
Look at Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher has never came back.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a decade.
Wild.
There's also rumors of Gruden coming back.
That's a little bit more tricky because the emails, although I always say this, everyone will be embarrassed or like in trouble if ever email thread or, text thread for like fantasy group chats. We say a bunch of crazy shit. Our Discord, if that ever got leaked out, we'd all go to fucking jail, man. Do you know about Rex Ryan's foot fetish, right?
I heard about it, yeah.
Do you know who Rex Ryan's favorite director is?
Quentin Tarantino.
Jay Quellen. No Jay Quellen here?
Do you mean Jacqueline?
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. Balake. Where is Balake at? Yes, sir.
My name's Blake.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you want to go to war, Balake?
No.
D Nice. Is there a D Nice?
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a bitch. Hey, Ron. Where are you? Where is Ron right now?
Here.
You know, I said it like 4 times, so why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a bitch!
I do got that joke though about the Quentin, because Quentin Tarantino just loves showing feet. So Dakota says, does Storey share the same fetish as Rexy? You like feet?
Everyone has their own fetishes. I'm not going to divulge mine, but I guarantee everybody's got.
You admitted you have one.
Yeah, we all have fetishes.
Yeah.
It's just something.
I'm trying to think what mine is, because I would admit to it. I like girls. I like women. I like women. How about that? I like women.
That's not exactly
I like that. I wanted to ask you. So Rex, they're brothers, Rex and Rob. So obviously it's well known about Rex Ryan's fetish. What do you think Rob Ryan's fetish is? The long hair? Like, what do you think he's into?
Probably like grunge music.
I was thinking poop. I was thinking poo porn.
You went
like German
really,
stuff,
like out there. But okay.
Well, I was trying to top his brother's fetish, right? Like, grunge music.
Do you know
grunge music is a fetish?
No, I mean for some people, like goth chicks or whatever. I guess that's not grunge music isn't goth.
Do I know what poo porn is called?
Yeah, or what the fetish related to it's
something with fecal
scatophilia.
That's a great one. That's a great name.
It's a real term.
How do you know this?
Because I took a class in abnormal psychology in college. I know all about paraphilias.
Oh, wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm speechless. So yeah, I was trying to think what my fetish is, and you know me, I would just divulge it on fucking live TV or whatever the hell it is.
You'll come up with something.
Yeah, man. What do I like? Is liking pussy a fetish?
No, I mean no. Come on,
It's gotta be something weird, right? I like my back rub,
or getting choked, or
I've done a lot of choking because a lot of girls like that stuff. I'm not really into it.
Asphyxiation.
Maybe I'll experiment tonight and see what I like.
Yeah, just run through the gamut. Go to a website and tick off all the boxes for fetishes. And
Yeah, girls love to get choked. I never really got that one. That's a little strange. Felt a little weird doing it too.
The danger thing, I think. I don't know.
It's not really that dangerous, but having unprotected sex is more dangerous than that.
True. Don't do autoerotic asphyxiation. Don't do that stuff by yourself.
Jets need to bring back Adam Gase. I was thinking of the South Park clip of Kenny doing that when the cats were pissing on him. He's just hanging there with the Batman costume on, and he died. But Kenny, that was back when Kenny died every episode. Adam Gase is trash. Where the hell's he gone? Ugly looking dude too.
He is a weird dude. Where did he go? I don't know. Let's see what he's up to. He's a grumpy looking guy. Apparently,
Rob gives me vibes of a chick with a surprise kind of guy. Oh, so trannies, is he's trying to say trannies. Yeah, I've been intrigued. I'll say that, Jason. Never done it. As you know, I would tell you if I've done it. So I'm guessing that's what he means by the chick with a surprise. It's a surprise.
Yeah. Little Taiwanese. Yeah.
The lady boy. The lady boys.
I don't mean to denigrate. Whatever you're into, more power to you.
Oh, they're all over the place down there, man. Again, it always makes me think of the Hangover 2 scene where she's like, I come in you and you come on the floor. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, you come in me? How did you come in me? With my balls? And she fucking whips out her fucking dick. Oh, man. She was like 6'3", too. I should have gave it away, right?
Yeah.
I made love to a man.
I remember that scene. I'll be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of
the Hangover movies. We know.
Yeah.
We know. Come on. Hangover's a classic, bro.
There's some okay parts to it. I'm not a huge fan.
God, it must have been like a head coach in that movie, and you just were scared of it. What do you?
Rob Riggle's in that movie. You hate Rob Riggle.
Oh, Rob Riggle's the worst part of that movie. Rob Riggle.
That is a pretty bad part. I'm not gonna lie.
I think a lot of people are on my side, man. I've been bringing it up on the show, and then on Xbox, my group I play with, they all didn't like him either. So I think it's not an unpopular opinion. Rob Riggle is very overrated, and he just yells and has energy. And congratulations. I thought he was pretty good on the Fox pregame stuff that year. Remember that?
Yeah, I forgot he did that.
That was good writing. I don't think he was writing those jokes. If he was writing those jokes, Rob Riggle, I apologize. He's got a cool name, you know.
He definitely was not writing those jokes.
There you go. So Rob Riggle, fraudulent. What are you looking up, man?
I'm looking up. I'm trying to figure out where Adam Gase is right now, and it doesn't look like he's anywhere.
Is he like working for SpaceX or something?
I don't know. Him with a beard is weird.
Moon story?
He's a weird looking dude, man.
Did you hear we're going back to the moon?
Why? Didn't we already see everything at the moon?
We're not landing, but it's called Artemis 2. It's launching in like February, bro. Four people though. It's actually just it's a manned mission. Yeah, they're gonna do a flyby and go to the dark side of the moon, right? With Pink Floyd.
To do what? We've already been to the moon.
I don't know. It just seems weird that we haven't gone back for 50 years.
I do know why they're doing it. I'm just being
why are we doing it?
We're doing it in order to prepare for future actual manned missions or landing missions to the moon, in order to eventually establish what it takes to colonize the moon, to actually have people living on the moon. So it's the lead up to that.
That's our only option, because Mars is pretty much impossible to colonize. It's insane.
It depends. A lot of it depends on the ability to terraform the planet. There is some speculation, though, that Venus, despite its atmosphere and the proximity to the sun, that Venus might be a better option than Mars because of the heat necessary to sustain life.
If you could have some type of floating station there, it's actually like 75 degrees on certain levels in the sky, in the sky there on Venus. But like when you get below the clouds and everything, the greenhouse, it's like 600 degrees there.
Right. And that's why Venus is speculated that if you can create structures that actually are in that zone, it would be a better option. But I don't think that we'll see anything in our lifetime. Maybe the moon.
Well, I think people have seen The Martian and they're just like, oh, it's super easy to colonize Mars. Like, look at Matt Damon was living on there for fucking 500 souls. Like, dude, Mars at certain times during the year, Mars is like 4 years away from us. It's super far. So like you have to have a self-sustaining, like you said, you have to literally terraform the planet, and you have to have everything there to where like the moon, it's a 2-day venture. So you can just be bringing shit back.
You've seen The Martian, right?
I love The Martian.
Great movie.
Yeah, I'm a Castaway. I prefer Castaway, personally, because I'm a Tom Hanks guy. And hold on, and you know who else is in? Castaway?
I have an idea.
Helen Hunt. There she is. Do you believe that he came back and he was like waiting on this broad? Come on, Tom. I know you're not the best looking guy, but you're Tom fucking Hanks. Like Helen Hunt. By the way, my dad said he knew this. But I was going to say this for movie hot takes, but I can get into this now. Helen Hunt was cheating on Tom Hanks the entire time in that movie. Is that what
your dad said?
Over? No, I said it to him, and he's like, I knew that. I was like, Jesus, Dad. Like, I love him. He's listening. My dad's the brightest guy in the world. He thinks he's a dumbass. I think my dad's a lot smarter than he gives himself credit for. But that was the ringing endorsement. My dad, I love you, Dad. It's factual. Like, dude, if you look at it, there's just so many little remember how he gives her the beeper because she never answers the phone when he's on his business trips? The dentist is the one that she ends up marrying and having a kid with because like she knew him before. There's they show a clock when he calls her from Russia. They show a clock when he gets in, right? So he says, I'll be there in 18 hours. They specifically show the clock twice to show that it was 8:00 p.m. when he called, a time where she should be home. She's plowing into the dentist, man. So like she was upset with him. He was never home. He was never around. She wanted more. And like, she had that guilty look on her face when he was sleeping and they were watching TV. I know that look.
Man, you've really
got that look and I've given that look.
You've really dug into this.
Well, Castaway is one of my favorite movies, and it took me a long time to like, I think it's a fact that she was cheating. I think it was a fact. Where before it was kind of more of like a rumor or like an idea. And again, I love Helen Hunt, but here we go. Jason, we went to the moon. Earth isn't flat. These clowns that don't think we went to space race got to get out of here. Now, I am very against the flat Earth thing. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I do believe that the first moon landing was fake. I do believe. I know the footage was fake. Story. I know the footage was fake. That was not real footage.
It's not fake. The issue with thinking that the moon landing is fake is it would have been more difficult to recreate and to actually create and keep a secret the fake moon landing than actually sending men to the moon. Like, the technology didn't exist to create the moon landing. Like, if you look at the way that the dust, the particles, the way that they suspend in air, because the moon's atmosphere is 1/6 that of Earth. In the video, you can clearly see they don't fall the same way. There's no technology on Earth that would allow you to do that, to create plumes that just kind of stick in the air for a second before they fall to the ground, because on Earth, that stuff's falling immediately. So the technology wasn't there. It's just impossible. It was easier to send men to the moon than it was to fake it.
I know we've gone there. I'm pretty confident we've gone there. The first one, though,
I just gave you evidence. I just gave you evidence as to why it wasn't fake.
I said the footage was fake.
And I'm telling you, it was impossible to fake at the time. Impossible. You can't do it. Impossible. I'm giving you evidence.
All right. I guess I got to dive a little deeper on this. Because Rogan was one of those people that forever was saying the same thing I was saying, and he's kind of come around to being more 50-50 on the fact that it was the first one was fake. Like, that's the one I'm concerned about. I know the other ones, we didn't fake everyone. That's insane. But the first one is just always a little like, there's a lot of stuff about it, man, that the way the astronauts acted when they got home, it was really weird. Like, they acted like they just committed a murder. And it was just rushed. And like the fact we lost the technology, I don't know why we haven't gone back there. Obviously, there's nothing to see. It's probably
that's just it. I'm telling you,
there's something to see though.
Well, yeah,
I want to play golf in the moon, bro.
Moon rocks.
If I played golf in the moon, I could hit the ball as far as Jason, because Jason's a bomber, bro. Joe Rogan says you're wrong, Storey.
The other thing, like, so you are aware that, like, we left shit on the moon, right? Like, from the 1969 Apollo 7 mission, like the Apollo 6 mission, like, there's stuff on the moon that we can spot from Earth using advanced lasers.
Yeah, that's not the first mission, though. That's all I'm saying. It's not the first mission. I'm not talking about the other missions. And again, that's a story for another day. But the flat Earth thing is crazy wrong. Like, that's just fact. Like, that's actual fact. You agree with that?
Yes, 100%. The Earth is very clearly not flat.
Mikey, if the guy from Fear Factor and UFC commentary tells you you're wrong, then you're wrong. I know. Isn't that funny that Joe Rogan went from Fear Factor, which, by the way, he said he just took for the paycheck. He didn't think the show would last more than 2 episodes, and it lasted like 10 seasons. And he's just like, at this point, I'm making all this money. And then the UFC thing. But Joe Rogan is probably one of the smartest individuals, well-versed individuals on the planet, just based on who he's talked to. Like 3,000 podcasts with the smartest people in every field. Like that you retain so much knowledge from that dude. Like, Storey, me and you were just talking. We're both pretty smart guys. You're a little smarter than me, I would say. Like, I know more about football than you. I know more about the female body than you. But you have 4 degrees. Let's not fucking challenge that shit. He talks with like the smartest biologist, right? He talks with like the Egyptian expert for the pyramids. He talks with like astronauts, all these people that we have no access to. We can only read their work. He can actually pick their brains. So I feel like if you're a person that has good memory, which he clearly does, that he could talk with anyone, which the funny thing is Joe Rogan knows nothing about sports, like mainstream sports. He doesn't even know who Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is,
Yeah, I'm not arguing that Joe Rogan's not a smart guy. He's a very smart guy, but he tends to get dug in on his opinions, even when presented with conflicting evidence. And that's kind of what bothers me about Joe Rogan. Yes, I get that he speaks his mind. He's a very well-spoken, intelligent individual. But the fact is, like, we live in a world where you need to be able to absorb new information and then adjust. We need to be Bayesian, and he has a tendency, especially when it comes to like political beliefs, and I'm not trying to get political, but like certain things he gets really dug in on, even when presented with conflicting information. That's kind of my problem with Joe Rogan.
Are you going to come on the Flat Earth pod with Ray? And,
no, dude, I don't want to get yelled at, man. Like, I don't want to get yelled at.
No, here's the thing. So Hastings, who's a very smart individual in his own right, said he's coming around to the Flat Earth thing, which really blew my mind. And Ray's more of a conspiracy guy. I understand that. So it'll be me, you, Hastings, and Ray. It'll be a nice little forum, 4 of us, so it won't be a one-on-one yelling. And we hear them out, and then we rebuttal. I will host the show. I'll keep everyone in line. I will mute people if they need to be muted. I will tiny dancer people. If they get out of line, I just play tiny dancer. And it's a great conversation because these flat earthers, man, they it's their Bible. It's their fucking religion. And the problem is, Story, is the flat earth thing ties hand in hand with religion a lot because it kind of helps support their beliefs that the earth is only 10,000 years old or whatever the fuck they say it is, which is absolutely insane. That's the thing, that the firmament and all that kind of shit that they believe. The flat earth thing kind of correlates with those beliefs because science destroys religion.
It's wild. Like, you can easily disprove the earth is only 4,000, earth is only 10,000 years old with like simple physics, right? Like the most basic of the fact that lead exists disproves that, because lead is a byproduct of a half-life of a particular element of an isotope of an isotope of an isotope, and that half-life of that, so they degrade into certain other elements. The half-life of some of those are millions and millions of years. So the existence of lead in and of itself as an element disproves that theory. How do you convince somebody who's gone down that rabbit hole of that conspiracy theory, even with presented with the facts? That's the question.
The simplest explanation is the Grand Canyon, right? We know how the Grand Canyon was formed. Water erosion from the Colorado River. Fact. That motherfucker. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon, Story?
No, I really want to go.
It's unbelievable. And like the fact that like we know like it could never have taken 10,000 years. It took fucking, I don't know, 100 million years, probably more. Like that's the fact that the earth is older than that, because there's no way that, dude, you could see it from so far away. I climbed, my parents live like, I want to say 200 miles away from the Grand Canyon. And me and my brother climbed the highest mountain they have there. It's like, I want to say like 6,700 feet. And we got to the very top, and you can see like the earth just fall off from 200 miles away. So, dude, it's so vast.
I've seen it from a plane. Like, I've seen it flying over.
It's wild.
Oh, wow. It is just stunning. I can't even imagine what it's like up close.
It's just that's all the proof I need, honestly. It's just like I know that the earth is old because that's water erosion is very, very slow in how it works. And it's very, very deep, and it's very, very long. And Dakota, 1 to 10, how good is the clip of the guy taking a deep second sniff in a guy's ass on Fear Factor? I don't know that clip. Do you know that clip?
I don't know. I watched like some of Fear Factor when it was early, but the eating weird stuff really grossed me out. Like I didn't care for any of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that part. It's like a Rikishi. Remember the wrestler Rikishi? They had his finishing move was he wore that. He was an Asian guy. Yeah. He wore that like underwear. It was like a thong. He shoved his ass in the fucking person's face. It was called what was it called? Mikey probably knows. What's it called? What was Rikishi's finishing move called? The stinky fucking nose. And that was probably what I would call it, but it was something fucking great. I guarantee he knows it off the top of his head. Mikey says the flat earth convo should be done at 2 a.m. fire after the draft for the whole neighborhood to hear. Stink face. It's called the stink face. That's not that original. The stink face.
Didn't you and Ray like do one of these podcasts about one of those free-flowing podcasts where you just talk about?
No, we already did a flat earther one, but he wants to revisit it because he wants to do more research. And he said I sprung it on him, which I mean, we talked about it for 2 weeks. I don't know how much I sprung it on him. I think it's more just like it's black or white in my mind, the flat earth thing. It's either flat or it's not. So,
I mean, yeah. Well, the other thing is like when it comes to flat earth, like you can literally, see the horizon, but when it comes to the moon landing, like how do you account for the tens and thousands of people that it would have taken to keep a secret? Like,
no, the first one would have been tens of thousands. It would have been like 1,000.
How do you keep that secret? You can't.
The JFK assassination that was maybe less than 1,000, but that was definitely some chicanery in there, dude.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I don't think he was purposely.
Do you know how many people would be in on this flat Earth conspiracy? Like 1 billion, or like 100 million. Every pilot, every scientist ever lived would be in on this. A lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. Like from a flat Earth perspective, I've never really even like dug into the moon landing stuff because I've got a friend who believes the moon landings are fake. I've never really dug into the flat Earth because I prior to Ray, I didn't know literally anybody in my life that thought the Earth was flat realistically.
Joe Rogan thinks John Jones didn't take any steroids. Anyone who takes his MMA knowledge needs to stop immediately. I've never heard that take. Joe Rogan openly admits to taking steroids himself, so I don't know why he would have that take. And John Jones it's 100% like fact, like that. Like Jones is like not only isn't it drugs too? Isn't he like doing blow and shit? He's like failed multiple drug tests.
Who? Joe Rogan?
John Jones. No.
John Jones. Yeah. I believe.
Yeah, like multiple drug tests, like cocaine and I feel like athletes should be on steroids. You know my take on this. Like I know like combat sports are a little different, but like what's funny is we don't want these men taking steroids when they're fighting against other men on steroids, but we'll allow a transitioned man to go fight a woman and beat the fuck out of him. Like that seems crazier to me, but that's actually allowed. But the steroids is like, nope, you can't fight. You tested positive for a performance enhancing drug. Wild shit.
I don't think there's any transsexuals in female UFC, is there?
Oh yeah, there's been a couple. Not UFC, but in terms of there's definitely been a couple. I don't know if it was in the actual UFC, but there's a lot of different avenues you could fight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild. I want to see the other way. Which would never happen. I want to see a woman transition to be a man and try to fight in the UFC. That'd be fucking fun. Just see a death. Jason, a $20 banger here. It's about the man in the box, brother. Old Buzz. We don't make them like we used to. We went to the moon technology on a calculator, and we stormed the beaches of Normandy and won the Pacific. Sorry, I'm having a hard time reading right now.
It's about the man in the box, brother. Old Buzz. We didn't make them like we used to. We went to the moon on technology of a calculator. 100% true. And we stormed the beaches of Normandy. Also true. And we won that. That's right. How many college football national championships does Germany have versus zero versus the USA? Won the Pacific. Yeah, take that. Pacific. Won the Pacific. Eat a you know what. Yep. Eat a you know what.
Ah, that's what I stumbled on. Eat a dick. Yep. He can't say they don't. YouTube doesn't let him say that.
Oh no.
They should.
Yeah.
Instead of another chug, I'm just going to do a shot because I don't want to chug another beer. Every $20 holler deserves a chug or a shot. That's just the rules around here. I adhere to the rules. I'm a man that adheres to a good rule. This has kind of gone off the rails a little bit. Russia would have had been on the lunar landing fake. And yeah, because they were in the space race as well, is what he's saying.
There you go. Think about it.
Some UFC talk. Rikishi. I can't believe he's Samoan. What did I call him? Asian? What is Samoan? Isn't that Asian?
No, Samoans. That's the Pacific. That's the Samoa. That's the Southeast Pacific or Southwest Pacific. Down there by Fiji and all that stuff. Samoans. That's where The Rock's from. I don't know if that's where he's from, but that's his heritage.
Oh yeah. He's kind of disappeared a little bit, The Rock. Where's he gone?
Have you seen him lately with the weight that he lost?
Looks weird. Looks sick.
Yeah, he does look sickly. He's trying to get more established as like a dramatic actor. So he did that one with Emily Blunt. Now he's got his little glasses, right? And he's lost weight. But Fast and Furious 12 or whatever comes out, he'll bulk up again.
Dude, I was really surprised The Rock wasn't in Anaconda. Isn't that like the perfect movie for him to be in?
Does feel like a movie that he would have.
But he wasn't in. Yeah, he wasn't in.
Why wasn't he in? He's kind of made that or trying to make that. Half black, half Samoan. His both his dad and his grandpa were professional wrestlers. So Rocky Maivia was his. Is that his dad or his grandpa? I can't remember. I read The Rock's autobiography. It was ghostwritten. It was very bad.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are.
Rocky
Johnson. Rocky Johnson was his dad. Rocky Maivia was his original name, right?
Yeah, Rocky Maivia was his grandpa then. But you know whose autobiography was really good? Was Mancow's. Not Mancow. Mankind. The rest
it's like Mancow. Mancow's is probably pretty good too, bro.
Probably. No, Mankind. His autobiography is great. I highly recommend getting it from the library.
Oh, see, I love this. We have Mikey and Blake in here. Both they're They're both our Jamies right now, our
Peter
producers.
Maivia, okay.
Rocky Johnson's his dad. Peter Maivia is his grandpa.
Got it. Okay.
Dude, Mancow's autobiography would have been similar to like Wolf on Wall Street, but like about radio.
Yeah, he's got a wild background.
Why haven't they made? Dude, why haven't they made one? Because have you seen Private Parts with Howard Stern?
No.
It's really good. That's really good. But like, I feel like Mancow was our Howard Stern, right? Our local Chicago Howard Stern. Same kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he's still going. I think.
He is, but he has done more political stuff recently, I believe.
Is it bad? I mean, obviously, most.
No, he's just
bad.
Like, I think that kind of. I think that might have turned people off to him.
I don't think he's really got the background to be talking. I know anyone could learn politics and know politics and talk politics. What is it anyway? But like, who wants to listen to Mancow talk politics? I want to have him in the studio with like topless chicks and the whole midgets and topless chicks. That's what I want from Mancow. That's Mancow to me.
Mancow. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's on I don't know. Shock jock.
This
I almost lost it.
One of my friends growing up, his older brother got busted for like fucking a cat. Like literally, I fucked the cat and got arrested. Yeah, and he got arrested. And Mancow did a whole thing on it. So like, not only was it in the paper, like he used his name and shit because it was in the paper. And Mancow did a whole thing on it. So like, the dude's life was over. I'm pretty sure he's dead now because he fucked the cat.
Oh my god.
But like I've heard of fucking dogs, like fucking a cat. Like, can't only Asians do that? Based on the size, is that crossing a line?
I mean, that's horrible.
That is horrible. But like, I'm thinking of the geometry of the whole situation. Cats are small, unless you're talking about like an actual cat, like a bobcat or like a tiger. At that point, you can't fuck them because they're gonna kill you.
There is that the video or the surveillance footage of, and I don't know if it's a Hangover 2, where Bradley Cooper fakes like he's screwing Tyson's tiger. He's like, beforehand, he's like, oh, such a majestic creature. It cuts that. He's like,
see, now you're liking Hangover because like those little scenes, like the Mike Tyson stuff's great. This is a good comment from here. The Rock looks more like Al Roker now.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I gotta look this up, man. No, I mean, I saw he looks a little weird, but let's see. The Rock 2025. Holy shit.
Right.
Stop taking the juice. He looks darker too. He's going like reverse Michael Jackson on us. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna look it up.
Or Sammy Sosa, if you want to go Sammy Sosa.
Ooh, Sammy Sosa.
Ooh, this is a good one. Alexandra Daddario or Sydney Sweetie, who's hot? Sydney Sweetie, who's hotter?
Dude, that's a
good.
He's
have a boner, bro.
Oh, okay. Let's think through this. Man.
Can we throw a third name into the ring here? Can we throw in, let's see, who we're going to throw in that's like modern, that people love. Let's throw in Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie's the third one.
Let's add a fourth. Ana de Armas.
Oh, I like Daddario a lot.
It's close.
I don't really like Sydney. I'm not saying I don't think she's hot. I just don't like her as a person as much. I know that's not like part of the exercise, but I also want to appreciate their personality a little bit. So just from Wolf of Wall Street, give me Margot Robbie because that was her first role. Maybe I'm not in the spirit of the exercise here. My answer is prime Jessica Alba over all those women. Okay, that's my answer.
I think the correct answer is prime Kate Upton.
Too Barbie dollish, too big. Everything's too big. You know what I mean? Just too big. Like just too big.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm going to go with, man, that's tough. Alexandra Daddario. That is tough.
Alexander?
Alexander.
You've been taking these shots too, bro?
Yeah.
See, I much rather talk about hot guys just because it's more fun because we're straight men. You know what I mean? Like it's a better conversation because like all these women are super sexy, right? They're all like, there's no right or wrong answer. Yeah, like guys, they gotta be special for us to say they're attractive.
Right.
At least for you to say they're attractive.
Splitting hairs with the top, 0.1% of attractive women out there.
All right, we got to get Storey out of here. Let's get a couple more questions before you go. You have a work meeting in the morning. Storey, you ever put mayo in a Ziploc and place it between your mattress and bed? I hear if you push down hard, the mattress, the friction is crazy. Is that a thing?
I don't know. Wouldn't be mayo, though. I don't like mayo.
It's okay. I'm not. Margot Robbie's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd rather have mustard on my sandwiches.
Kate Upton. Who was Kate Upton dating? Verlander. Is she married to Verlander?
I don't think so. Not anymore, at least.
Wow, he got to tap that one.
Huh? Go look at Kate Upton from 2005, 2006.
That's the year? Kate Upton, 2005. What about now? How's she looking now?
I haven't seen her in forever. I have no idea.
She kind of had a little Britney Spears thing going on there when she was really young.
Dude, prime
okay.
Britney. That hit differently because that was my formative years, man. That was high school.
Yeah, man. Her dad did her pretty dirty.
Yeah, I know.
I don't mean that way, but like the fact that he like owned her until she was like 35. Like what?
Absolutely crazy that is legal. That is something that can happen in society.
It's gross. It's disgusting. All right, Storey. It was awesome. I'll do a couple more questions before I get off.
All right. Good deal.
Appreciate you. Sunday, I'm coming over for your party. You're doing a little draft or not draft.
Yeah.
It could be. Well, it's gonna be a party for us because we're gonna fucking win the goddamn league.
That's the plan. I don't know who's gonna be cheering. The nice thing is, at least, like, if the Rams are playing the Bears and I was having this party, everybody here would be cheering for the Bears, and I'd be like, God damn it! I'm like, kind of cheering for the Rams here because of the fantasy side of things, and whatever. You get it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be cheering for the Rams pretty hard. Yeah, it's gonna be great, especially if the Patriots lose that first game. All right, appreciate you, Storey. Get some rest, my dude.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Hell yeah. All right, thanks, Storey. All right, I'll answer a few more questions here, and then taking tomorrow night off, I think, and then Saturday night will be on. Big Ray will be on Saturday night for a little open bar, do a little preview again. We've talked about these games a lot, but I know there's some of you guys don't see every episode. And it'll be a great time. Here's Helen Hunt. Say hello to Helen. She is not on that list of hot girls. Where does she rank next to Margot Robbie and Daddario? Prime Helen Hunt was okay, I guess. Twister Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton did like love her. So let's give him a little bit of credit and her a little credit because she was never a sex symbol, but she had that girl next door vibe to her, which, we know. It's okay. It's okay.
Very nice performance. Very nice and clean performance. Very, very, very nice. Which one of these talented entertainers, who I am not attracted to at all, will be the winner?
Mikey, Verlander's that I don't find him like crazy attractive, but I see the appeal, right? Elite athlete, 6'5", tall, dark, and handsome is like the definition of Justin Verlander. And not my cup of tea. I like my guys a little prettier than Justin Verlander, but you could do worse than Justin Verlander. All right, that's it for me, gentlemen. Any last comments, questions, get them in now. Otherwise, tomorrow, taking the day off, but Saturday night, 10 p.m., be a wild show with me and Ray. And yes, we know Ray's favorite movie of Helen Hunt is Twista. We're talking sandwiches here. Man, I love sandwiches. My wife loves sandwiches more. I like hot sandwiches personally. She's into any sandwich. I don't like a cold, like homemade sandwich. I can't get down on it. It makes me like feel like I'm back in elementary school. You know what I mean? Eating that shit for lunch when they're kind of soggy and ugh. No, I miss Quiznos. I know Quiznos is kind of like trash, but Wally says Joe Burrow is a good looking dude. Wally, I bought my wife a Joe Burrow jersey. She's a big Joe Burrow fan. She's had multiple sex dreams about Joe Burrow, and I don't even get jealous. I don't think Joe Burrow's, he kind of looks like a hot Macaulay Culkin. Like if Macaulay Culkin was a little hotter and an athlete, that's Joe Burrow. I'm not into Joe Burrow. I think Josh Allen's better looking than Joe Burrow. So what the fuck is up with you and sandwiches, kid? I'll make you a sandwich. I love when he makes what does he call it? It's tostada. He's making like fried bologna. He's like, that's not a sandwich. He's like, just call it a tostada. That was Helen Hunt's brother. No way. That's Helen Hunt. That's Helen Hunt now. She's 62 years old. So she is getting up there, but she had some work done, clearly, which has not gone well for Helen Hunt. So this work is not great. Anyways, that is it for me. If you're not in the community, if you want in, We'd appreciate you guys. This is the Patreon subscribers. Appreciate all of you guys, especially. And it's just more than just supporting us, guys. A lot of perks in there. Access to my bets. We have 3 plays already in for this weekend. 92 and 55 this year, 201 and 122 all time on the show. We're making money, boys, making money. I do release these bets the night before on the live streams, but the odds are going to change. So if you want to get the odds I placed, have the same record as me going forward, we're not quitting here. We're going to have about 10 plays for the NFL draft as well. Me and Storey crushed those plays. I think I went 7 and 9 last year on those. You bet, over, under, 27 pick, all that kind of shit. So, brother, real question for you. Do you think sports are not scripted? I mean, in the most part, they're not scripted. There's some stuff that maybe is scripted. It's impossible to have it scripted. That would be the biggest conspiracy. Every player is then in on it, and the players make way too much money for them to do that. So I'm guessing that you think it is scripted, and that's fine. That's fine with you. And I don't know. I make a lot of money on fantasy and gambling. So if it's scripted, then keep on scripting, baby, because I like the script, I guess. Her forehead's not that big, is it? It's pretty big. I think her hairline, you know what? She has that receding hairline. It's kind of like my hairline, but it's a woman. And yeah, I don't like that. That's not a sexy look, right? I don't think any guy's like, yeah, I want a chick with a receding hairline. So yeah, I don't think sports are scripted. I definitely don't think it's 100% scripted. It might be a little bit from time to time. It's definitely scripted. They make way too much money to keep hush. All the games end in the same spread for the nights, including NHL. Well, first of all, I don't bet spreads because that is also stupid. You bet player props, and that could be rigged, I guess, too, but less money on those. So, no, it's not all scripted, bro. And if you think it is, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you probably shouldn't watch. And I know it's for me, I don't care. Like, it's not like if it was scripted, I would still watch because I'm into the gambling aspect of it. And I think it's they're beautiful games, entertainment, right? It's not like when I learned that wrestling was fake. That's a bigger thing. Like, if you think it's like pro wrestling, then you're insane. It is not pro wrestling. And you can't script things because it doesn't work like that. You can't guarantee, like, we see guys drop passes all the time. So it's also sports. It happens quick. So you can't be like, okay, now you're going to catch this one. Like, what if they drop it? Now what the script changes, right? Like, what if the snap is bad? Like, then everything has changed. You can't tell a guy to miss a field goal or to make a field goal. Like, it doesn't work like that, bro. Okay, well, he's got some insider knowledge. Well, then why has it not been stopped then is my thing, Toes. Is that your name, Toes? Then if you have this knowledge and he's telling everybody, then everyone knows, and then the shit would go down because there's too much money bet on this shit. So that's fine. I don't know what your end game is here to kind of prove me wrong. Like, again, I'm not a commissioner of the NFL. I'm not even a player in the NFL. Clearly, look at my body, bro. Can't play in the NFL. Anyways, appreciate all you guys in the streams, all the super chats. Jason, you especially, you're the man. Shout out to Dakota for joining the fanatic tier on the Patreon. You're the man. I'll be in touch with you. I'll send you a hat here shortly. So tomorrow, no show. Saturday, 10 p.m. Central with me and Big Ray. That should be a wild time. If I don't see you then, enjoy the games on Sunday. We'll be on Sunday night as well, talking about the recap and getting ready for the Super Bowl. Appreciate you guys. Love your life. Stay positive and respect each other. We will see you Saturday night.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you want to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my